right. So we've had some technical difficulties here. What I need to do now is take this.
It says we're live.
What I need to do now.
Okay.
The only thing is for whatever reason, I don't think we're...
We're live for what it's worth.
We're live, but it's not... I don't know. It's weird. It's not live on the actual... Wait, actually, is it live on the event? I don't know.
I got the... I mean, I got the notification and everything. I got the notification and everything.
Alright. So, I'm not sure how it worked on everyone else's end, but I did have to create a separate stream from the event for this to work. So, I'm not sure if it still shows the event as a separate thing, or if this is the event, or like if this got grouped in with the event. I'm not 100% sure. So, we're just going to try and figure this out. If the other event is still live, if you guys could do me a huge favor and put the link to this one in that chat or something. But regardless, we're actually live now after a couple minutes of technical difficulties, so thanks for...
That's the first one.
Okay, yeah, I gotta figure that one out. So I'm gonna take a minute to try to figure that one out, but...
Anything can happen live, guys. Anything can happen live. Little technical difficulties.
For me, it says the event is live now. So I'm not 100% sure. But I guess we're just going to have to deal with it like this. Alright, so what's up, guys?
Good.
Now that we're mostly finished with the technical difficulties, hopefully. So if you guys didn't see the video that we uploaded earlier, we've come to the tough decision that because of a technical difficulty with a bunch of recorded episodes that we had, that my hard drive failed and completely corrupted almost everything. We've pretty much deemed it necessary to cancel the 2K18 series where it is, because we do not have time now to catch up, because now both of us are back to working full-time. We did have about like a week and a half off where we sat there and recorded a ton of videos, but of course now those are corrupted, and 2K19 comes out really soon, so at this point we don't have time to finish the series the way we wanted to, so we've deemed it necessary to cancel it, which is super unfortunate, but this live stream is for you guys to talk to us about, you know, if you wanted to know like where storylines were headed, like maybe a little bit more behind the scenes stuff on how we record, any questions you guys have about the 2K18 series, we are here to answer your questions. So, you know, fire away in the chat. What are you guys thinking? I'm sure you guys aren't super happy about it. We're not either, but it's what we have to do at this point, so it's very disappointing, but
we could at least have fun with it and, you know, answer any questions you guys have as far as what was going to happen on Raw, what was going to happen on SmackDown, pay-per-views, everything. So you guys got any questions, what you want to know, fire away. We will answer.
Are you guys actually canceling the series? Well, if the beginning part there didn't answer it for you, but unfortunately, yes, we are canceling it from where it is, but we'll be back with 2K19 in just a couple of weeks here when the game comes out. It's sad to hear, but it's understandable. Yeah, thank you, Byron Knight. You've been with us for a while here. Are you guys doing Universe Mode in 2K19? Yes, we are.
What were the Survivor Series teams? Well, let's just say we were going to do SmackDown versus Raw for Survivor Series, which is what
that was going to be the theme for like the whole pay-per-view, not just...
And there were going to be a few SmackDown versus Raw team matches going, but
I I think our like main event match was going to be the Shield versus the Bullet Club, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was going to be the main event of Survivor Series. Bullet Club would... Well, which 3 of the 4 were you going to have?
I was going to do Gallows, Styles, and Balor.
And obviously for me, Ambrose, Rollins, Reigns, surprise. The Bullet Club was going to win that match. We didn't get... what was I going to say? We didn't get that much farther afterwards as far as what else was going to have to happen after that. But that was the main one. What else?
We were going to have a lot of champion versus champion matches for Survivor Series as well. We were going to have, obviously, the World Heavyweight Champion against the WWE Champion, the Intercontinental Champion against the United States, or not the United States, but the Hardcore Champion.
Tag team versus tag team, women's versus women's.
All kinds of insane stuff.
There was the Shield Bullet Club. There was 4 Raw women against 4 SmackDown women, and then 4 Raw men against 4 SmackDown men.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly, like, how, like, exactly who was in each matches, but...
I know...
Because we like, crunched all this stuff together, so it's hard to remember, like, which matches were which and stuff like that.
I know for a fact that my SmackDown men were Randy Orton, Aleister Black, Bobby Roode, and Johnny Gargano. And my SmackDown women were Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Becky Lynch, and I believe Alexa Bliss.
Who is going to main event WrestleMania? We did kind of talk about this in an earlier video, but the idea when we started was for, and keep in mind, when we first started the series, this was before Daniel Bryan got cleared to return, like, in real life. So the idea for the main event was Daniel Bryan was going to come back and be like, the doctors cleared me for one more match. I want to have my last match at WrestleMania, and he wanted to have his match against The Undertaker. So, the main event of our WrestleMania was going to be Daniel Bryan versus The Undertaker in Daniel Bryan's final match.
And we decided that Daniel Bryan was going to win that match.
But, seeing as how Daniel Bryan's now cleared to return, we decided we were going to scrap that match altogether. But now we've had to scrap the entire series, so that's that.
This isn't a question right here, but just because I see it, fuck the Revival. Say it for all time's sake.
Fuck the Revival.
No, you know what I'm talking about.
PG, Tyler.
There we go. You guys got one more. Granted, it won't be the last.
What was in store for Bo Dallas? Oh my god. I love Bo Dallas.
We might as well tell him what the SummerSlam plan was first.
Well, okay. So, of course, the most recent time that you guys have seen Bo Dallas, he was Brock Lesnar, okay? And so what we were going to do is we were going to have, or well, I should say me because I write the Raw matches and stuff. But I was going to have Brock Lesnar. He was going to, dominate leading up to SummerSlam, and he was going to be like, okay, I can take on anybody. Like, I'm going to be on the pre-show for SummerSlam. I'm going to have, or no, I don't think it was the pre-show. I think it was like one of the opening matches, actually. He was going to be like, okay, I'm giving an open challenge. Whoever wants to come fight Brock Lesnar can. And what was going to happen was Brock Lesnar was going to come out and just absolutely decimate Bo Dallas. Just completely destroy him. And then that was pretty much going to be it. And then I don't necessarily remember all of his gimmick changes were, but the most important one, the biggest role the most important role I would say that he was going to have was at the Royal Rumble. It was going to be AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Finn Balor in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And the idea was the other two members of the club, Gallows and Anderson, they were going to come out, and they were meant to distract Finn Balor, but like we were going to have it so that both Finn Balor and Finn Balor were like looking, up the ramp. And AJ Styles was going to go to roll one of them up, but he was actually going to roll up Finn Balor. And then starting from there, basically Styles would end up winning the title off of Balor. And that was going to start essentially the breakdown of the Bullet Club.
And, seeing as how you brought up the Royal Rumble, the next question after that was who was going to win the Royal Rumble. Funny little thing about that, when we made our Survivor Series, I made a deal with him. I was going to let the Bullet Club beat the Shield. In return, a SmackDown guy was going to win the Royal Rumble, which he had no problem with.
I was completely fine with that.
Dean Ambrose was going to win the Royal Rumble.
Hey, what's up, Nate? So do any of you guys know why the Hell in a Cell is red? I mean,
What?
I think WWE posted something that the Hell in a Cell for the pay-per-view was red or something like that. I don't know.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah. Charlie Smith. Hey, can you answer? Hey, Charlie Smith. There you go.
Hey, what's up, Charlie?
The Beaufather.
The Beaufather. That would have been epic. If there is Road to WrestleMania, will you do a series for it? If there's Road to WrestleMania, I'll probably either do a stream playing through it or do a series of videos playing through it. But it's not going to be anything as nearly as in-depth as, obviously, our universe stuff, and that's what we're going to be focused on.
Finn Bowler. Do you guys like the roster? Charlie, are you talking about the 2K19 roster?
If you're talking about the 2K19 roster, then it's pretty solid. I think that there are some really weird, glaring omissions from that. Like, we were just talking about this yesterday, like Tommaso Ciampa.
Nikki Cross. I don't remember, but I don't think Bobby Lashley was announced. I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing him.
I think I saw Bobby Lashley. Okay, yeah, he is talking about the 2K19. I remember seeing Bobby Lashley, yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Will you be doing the draft in 2K19? Yes, that will be our first video, and we are going to tell you guys right now, our storylines as far as 2K19 go, they are not a continuation of 2K18. It will be a completely brand new thing.
Yep. The main reason we did that is because we didn't want it to be confusing with some people being drafted over to SmackDown and whatever. So we're just completely starting brand new once we do the draft. Great series, guys. Sorry to hear about 2K18. Can't wait for 2K19. Thank you.
Irish Gamer, yo.
Hey, what's up, Irish Gamer?
Ty Lord. Never spoke to you on stream. Nate, now you have. Are you guys going to bring custom superstars to Universe mode for 2K19? For example, Kenny Omega, bring him and have him in dream matches and stuff. We actually did contemplate doing created wrestlers for 2K18, which we did not do. I don't know about Josh, but I'm strongly contemplating downloading creating superstars for my roster, but time will tell.
I think if we do end up doing it, I think we would only do very few, maybe probably no more than 5, I would say. Just because I know, especially I learned this the hard way when we were writing the storylines. It's so hard to include everyone in something, you know what I mean? And that's even with just us having maybe 30 or 40 men rosters.
And what sucks is it sucked a little bit more for me because SmackDown, I had 6 matches, whereas Raw, you got the extra match.
So I wouldn't say no, but we'll have to see what happens once we get closer to the game and once the game's out.
Yes. Will you all do the showcase? I'm definitely doing the showcase, of course.
I'm going to be playing, yeah, I'm sure I'll stream it or do videos on it. Or actually, I'll probably stream it because I know, but I already know WWE is going to take the stream down as soon as it's over anyway because...
That's what happened last year.
Well, not only that, but 2K16, I think. Wait.
15?
15. No, it was 16 because it was the Stone Cold one.
Oh.
I tried to do a Let's Play of it, and in between the matches when they show actual clips of the real matches, WWE copyright claimed it and took it down. So I'll stream it maybe, but they're gonna end up taking the stream down right away as soon as it's finished. So
Lashley is not in 2K19. Weird, because he was in the trailer for Ray.
they did that with the Hardys last year too. The Hardys were in advertisements all over the place for the game.
And they're in the Raw intro in 2K18, but they're DLC. All right, Byronite, this one's for you. Everybody just know I'm only going to do this once in the stream, maybe twice if you're lucky. Byronite, this is for you. Adam Cole, baby! Everybody gets one.
You probably just, like, destroyed headphone users. I'm just letting you know.
Sorry. Okay, most creative wrestlers look like crap. You're not wrong. Some do look good, though.
The Club versus the Bullet Club. That'd be interesting, actually.
That'd be the cartoon Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Can't wait to see what you guys do with the Undisputed Era. Don't bury him, guys.
I can promise.
We won't.
I will promise you guys right now, you can trust me, the Undisputed Era will not get buried. Wink, wink. You might know what I'm trying to say.
This is a question for Tyler. How do you feel for Adam Cole and Undisputed Era being in the game?
I am freaking thrilled. I was going crazy when, a week or two ago, when their entrance was uploaded on YouTube. I feel like Adam Cole's model could have been a little bit better. It doesn't look like, like trash or anything, but it could have been better. And I am a little sad that they couldn't have Kyle O'Reilly doing his little guitar on the title when they do the entrance, but
if anything, I mean, I'm disappointed by how low their overalls are.
Well, yeah.
Can we get a believe that? Believe that.
Boom. Believe that. And believe in the Shield.
And believe in the Shield.
Screw you. Ouch, that hurt. Probably me yelling.
I'm so hyped for 2K19. We are excited as well. What championships will be on the SmackDown brand in your universe? We are going to answer those questions in a separate video. Everything for 2K19, like all the info, like championships, pay-per-views, all that stuff, we're going to answer in a video that'll come out probably about a week before 2K19 comes out. So, sorry to kind of blue ball you on that question, but...
Bo Hardy, I know a good idea. Feed the Undisputed Era to Reigns. That is a terrible idea. No way.
Air guitar rip.
Yep. Tomasa not in the game because he tweets and said he didn't want to lose in the game in our fantasy. I did see that tweet. That was great.
Ciampa equals best heel.
He's definitely up there as best heel. Definitely.
What do you guys think about the big head mode in 2K19? I'm not necessarily against it. I think it's nice to see them actually trying to do something fun instead of just, doubling down on their whole, WWE like simulation style game. The only thing that I'm concerned about is I would much rather prefer them make sure that the game doesn't have glitches in it and is glitch free and is like performing as well as possible, and they're adding new like actually useful features instead of just weird little cheat codes that are probably in loot boxes, if we're being honest. But
Gold dust.
I don't know. It'll be a fun little thing to use every now and then, but we'll have to see what other kind of things they have in the game. But I was actually talking to you about this. I think it was yesterday. I was saying it wouldn't surprise me if they took like Ciampa and Nikki Cross out of the game and threw them in DLC just to like pad the DLC.
Because that's what they did with McIntyre. He was in WWE 12, DLC for 13, and then he was on disc for 2K14. Something tells me Ciampa was just not announced because they forgot him. I don't think it was that they forgot him. It'll probably be DLC. Tyler, how do you feel about Ronda Rousey and Rey Mysterio? Screw them both. I don't like how Buddy Murphy isn't in 2K19. Maybe he'll be DLC.
No. I don't like how they are just saving a bunch of people who are like on the main roster, or like on 205 Live or NXT or whatever, just to pad DLC. Because most of those people that we're talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of those people were already in 2K18. Ciampa was in there.
Ciampa,
Nikki Cross was in there.
Yeah.
I don't know about Buddy Murphy.
He wasn't. Who do you think will win the real Royal Rumble?
Dust. The real Royal Rumble.
I don't know.
My pick is Sin Cara. I didn't see that part. I don't know. I think we're a little bit too far out from the Royal Rumble to see like who's going in hot. But didn't who won it last this past year? Shinsuke Nakamura. I wouldn't surprise me if it was Strowman, but I feel like they also just had him win the Money in the Bank, so I don't know. Like I said, we'll have to wait until we get a little bit closer to the Royal Rumble to see who's going in hot, I think.
I know you guys want to ask all these questions, but this stream is for anything you want to know about our SmackDown vs. Raw 2K18 series. That's the main point of the video. We understand you guys want to ask all these other questions, but this is the main focus of it.
Sorry, guys, I missed the answer about Big Head Mode. Essentially, I said that I guess it's cool, it's interesting to see, but I would much rather them focus on making sure the game is, less glitchy and actually, works the way it's intended, as opposed to just adding in these random, like, big head modes and all this other stuff. That's honestly, those settings, like big head mode and stuff, are probably going to be in those loot boxes that you work towards in my career and stuff. So I'm not, I'm kind of indifferent on it. It's going to be a lot of DLC, but I want to see who's on there before I make a decision on whether I buy it or not. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just about done with the roster reveal. I feel like maybe like next week they might just throw in a couple of extra people in there, but that's what they did for 2K18 as well. But I think for the most part the roster is pretty much done. If either of you get Ronda for 2K19, I feel like you're going to feed her to some chump.
I would. Okay. Was Roman Reigns ever going to win a title? Yes, Roman Reigns was going to win the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. He was not going to have a long reign, I will say that.
Roman Reigns not having a long title reign?
It's possible.
Don't tell WWE that.
What brand... What do you mean don't tell them that? They had him win it for, 5 minutes?
I know.
What brand will you both be using? We are sticking with Raw and SmackDown.
Yep.
Because SmackDown is my baby.
I hope they don't add Drew McIntyre's new theme. It's garbage.
They will.
I don't even know what his new theme is. I haven't been paying attention.
Did SmackDown Live become the A show? How could it how could it become the A show when it was always the A show? See, even on live stream, I'm still a heel.
It's whatever.
Was Roman going to lose the title in a squash match? No. My February pay-per-view was No Way Out. He was going to lose it to Seth Rollins. And I might as well just tell you guys right now, the SmackDown main event for WrestleMania was going to be Seth Rollins defending the WWE title against Dean Ambrose, who won the Royal Rumble, and also Roman Reigns, who was invoking his rematch clause. So it was going to be the Shield triple threat for the WWE Championship.
I guess while we're talking about it, to get it out of the way, the Raw main event for WrestleMania was going to be AJ Styles taking on Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight title in a 3 stages of hell match, bringing it full circle back to the first Raw pay-per-view with the 3 stages of hell.
And that was specifically why we had... It was going to be 3 songs for WrestleMania. One was going to be exclusive for Daniel Bryan and The Undertaker, but that's why the song that he picked for Raw was Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold. it was going to be basically for that match.
Yep.
Since I subbed like 3 months into the 2K18 universe mode, I never got caught up, but I will catch up on 2K19. Better late than never, you know.
Yep.
What was Ellsworth gonna no chin music Roman Reigns and win the WWE Championship on a squash? No.
James Ellsworth. Was he even in the game? No. James Ellsworth, man. What a guy. What a guy.
This is awesome. Yes, it is.
Thank you. Thank you. I really wish 2K brought back the story selector thing for universe mode from 2K15. It made all the feuds feel different, whereas now all the feuds feel the same. I completely agree. They should have kept the create a story mechanic from 2K14 and such in the game, because let me tell you, that would have made our lives like 1,000 times easier with making these videos, because with create a story you could easily just set up a quick little cutscene where, you know, people come out like in the middle of the match, attack somebody, then leave. Whereas we had to do it all manually through gameplay, which required us to literally start a match, play a match for like 10 minutes, pause, quit, go start up a separate match with the people that were attacking, beat up the person, quit the match again, then go and start the original match again, and then finish the match. So just to film somebody being attacked during a match, we literally had to play 3 separate matches and then edit it together. And it was... especially for me, because I'm the one who edits all the videos, it was just so incredibly annoying to have to do it that way.
Was Kurt Hawkins going to lose his losing streak? Honestly, I think anytime I use Kurt Hawkins on my show, he just lost anyway. So, his losing streak would have been intact.
Damn it, Tyler. He deserves a win.
Can we take the time to say that the hat that Tyler was wearing at Great American Bash was awesome? Thank you. Tylord, your shirt is too sweet. Will you make Rusev a big star? I'm probably not going to draft him.
I mean,
were you going to do anything with him in 2K18?
In 2K18, I think going into December, I think he was going to go after the hardcore title, but he didn't win it. So, I think other than that, like, that was pretty much the extent of anything big for Rusev.
I like when Josh pulled that hat down on Tyler's face. It wasn't Backlash, it was still Great American Bash.
That was honestly like one of the funniest things that I ever did for the editing was when I like zoomed in on our faces and tracked me, like my arm going over and pulling the hat down and then it coming back to me.
If you guys go back to the Great American Bash video, I think it was right after the first match when I had the hat on and I kept like hitting him with it like that. After the third one, he clearly starts laughing, but you can notice me like trying so hard not to laugh. So you guys, any more questions you guys want to ask about what we had planned for 2K18? Ask away.
Want Undisputed to hold all the belts? Rusev Day.
I'm canceling Rusev Day.
Will Rusev Day continue?
No, because I'm going to cancel it.
I mean, I haven't started planning anything really for 2K18 or 2K19. My bad.
Well, it's not like we can really.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to plan anything considering we haven't drafted anybody yet. So,
what did you have planned for the tag team division?
I guess I'll start. For me, the club was gonna. Well, I mean, you guys pretty much saw. I mean, the Great American Bash was going to be the last pay-per-view. Well, the last Raw pay-per-view anyway, but before SummerSlam. Going into SummerSlam, essentially, the club was going to be like, well, no team has been able to beat us, so we're just giving an open challenge. Like, nobody's number one contender right now, and that's where the Hardys were going to debut at SummerSlam, win the titles off of Anderson and Gallows. Then the Hardys were going to be champions for quite a while. I don't remember how long.
Definitely past Survivor Series.
Yeah, past Survivor Series. And then I believe it was either the Royal Rumble or my December pay-per-view, which I think was December to Dismember. They were going to lose the titles to... I think it was the Bar, and then we were gonna do a. I think at the Royal Rumble it was the titles were gonna go back to the club, and then the club were gonna hold the titles till WrestleMania, and then I think the Hardys were gonna win them back at WrestleMania in a TLC match.
For SmackDown, the latest you guys saw up to was High Energy were the tag team champions. Yeah. At Battleground, the Ascension was gonna win the titles from them. They were gonna hold them for a little bit. I wanted to make them, destructive again. Then there was gonna be this huge upset loss to Breezango. Breezango was going to beat the Ascension for the tag team titles, kind of like an upset fashion. They would hold them, I think, for a few months. Survivor Series, it was going to be the Hardys against Breezango, which the Hardys won that. Then, at my December pay-per-view, I was going to form a tag team with Randy Orton and Aleister Black that some of you may laugh at this, but their tag team name was Black Venom. They would hold it for a few months, and then at WrestleMania, the New Day would beat them for the tag team championships.
Was Paige going to be the women's champion? Yes, she was. Okay, so I think the last Raw we actually put out was Sasha Banks won number one contendership for the women's championship. So it was going to be Sasha Banks versus Bayley at SummerSlam. Paige was going to interfere in the match, cash in Money in the Bank, and then she was going to win, hold the title for a bit. She was going to lose it to... I think she was going to lose it to Sasha Banks, like a couple months later. But then Paige still had a rematch clause that she was keeping from the first time that she lost the women's championship, and she was going to cash that in going into WrestleMania. But I don't remember who was going to be women's champion at the time. I think it was going to be... Because I did have a Bayley-Sasha feud planned. I think it was going to end up being Bayley, Sasha, and Paige for the women's title at WrestleMania.
And if you guys thought my heel commentator character was annoying the way it was, you should have seen it when Paige won back the women's championship.
Let's see, where were we at?
There were 2 questions that were on here that were pretty good questions, but they were retracted.
I don't know what that's about.
I think one said, was Shinsuke going to win the WWE title? Well, your world title.
At some point he was. I don't remember which pay-per-view it was. Because I know I was going to do a Balor Shinsuke feud.
Oh,
I think it was going into Survivor Series, he was heavyweight champion. Because I think at the previous pay-per-view, which for October for me would have been Halloween Havoc, he was going to defeat Finn Balor, and then going into Survivor Series, he would have been in the World Heavyweight Champion versus WWE Champion match. So, yes, Shinsuke was going to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, now I saw that question here. The Ascension, wow. Yeah, I was going to push him.
I wonder what was holding you guys back from using the Revival.
I wonder. The Revival say yeah. Say fuck the Revival.
Even though it's not doesn't really have anything to do with 2K18, I'm going to answer this question because I do get it asked a lot. Will you ever consider doing retro videos, example SVR 2007, etc.? I would love to do them. The only problem is the only console I own right now is the PlayStation 4, so obviously I can't play any of those games there. I would need, and because of the capture card that I have, it can only record through HDMI. So a PS3 is out of the question. I would need to get an Xbox 360 to do it. But all of like my accounts and stuff are on PlayStation. Like I used to have, I had a PS3 for a long time that I got rid of. So I don't know if I would ever want to move to Xbox to do videos like that. Not to mention the only Xbox, I actually do technically own an Xbox 360, but it's like the original like first model like white one, the one that gets the red ring of death after like an hour of being turned on. So it just would not be able to withstand like any extended amount of recording. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna commit to doing anything like that right now. Maybe at some point down the line, but I can't promise anything.
I like Heel Tyler as commentator. Thank you, the legend, and I do appreciate that Adam Cole is your picture. Question. Tired. Guys, just know some of these questions we are going to skip because we do want to strictly focus on the 2K18 storylines. We apologize to you guys, but that's what we want to focus on in this video. Was Sasha Banks and Bayley going to fight at WrestleMania? I think you just answered that question.
Hashtag push the Revival.
No! Hashtag fuck the Revival. Maurice X Gamer Warrior #1. I always hated the Revival. I just never saw anything special in them. I will answer that question, though.
I kind of just agreed with Tyler because I've only ever watched them wrestle like 3 different times.
And I'm sure someone's going to say, yes, I've seen their stuff in NXT. I was never even impressed then.
Hashtag don't push the Revival.
Yes! Legend, thank you!
Yeah, but just in case you missed the answer to the Sasha Banks-Bayley question, at WrestleMania it was going to be Sasha Banks versus Bayley versus Paige for the Women's Championship. So, technically, yes.
Respect Lord for Ty Lard. Ty Lard. Everybody, shame Nate. Shame.
Nah, Nate's cool.
Shame.
Nah, Nate's cool.
Shame.
I like Nate.
Shame Nate.
See, look, you said JK.
I know, I just read that before I said it. Don't shame Nate. Don't shame him. Push the Revival into the jobber status. Yes. Shame.
How about Royal Rumble? We kind of answered most of the Royal Rumble questions. You said Dean Ambrose was going to win the Royal Rumble.
Dean Ambrose was going to win the Royal Rumble. I know for SmackDown, that's when Roman Reigns was going to win the WWE title. Because I know we didn't have really that many matches planned for Royal Rumble because the Rumble was going to be how long anyway?
Yeah.
What was your plans for Dolph Ziggler?
My plans for Dolph Ziggler. Trying to think. I know a little bit later down the line, like around September, my September pay-per-view, which was going to be Armageddon. He was going to, well, it was going to kind of work out like the, similar to how it worked out for, what pay-per-view was that? Was that Money in the Bank where we did the six-man hardcore title match?
Yeah.
Going into Armageddon, Dolph and Styles were going to start going at each other for the hardcore title again. And then a bunch of people were going to, keep doing the 24/7 rule, It was going to culminate in an Armageddon Hell in a Cell match. And Dolph Ziggler was going to walk out hardcore champion. And then I think he held it through Survivor Series and then would lose it at December to Dismember, I believe.
All right, quick answer, yes or no for this one. Were you going to give Brock a title?
Technically, yes. He was going to have the hardcore title for a week because he was going to be in the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match. But other than that, I don't think so.
Any Zack Ryder plans?
Did I have Zack Ryder too? I had all these people that they're asking about.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder was... crap. I remember I had something with Zack Ryder. I don't remember what it was, though. He was going to have a rivalry with somebody. I don't think it wasn't a title run, but he was going to have a rivalry with The Miz, maybe? I really don't remember.
See, this just sucks because we had to cram it all so much so fast we can't even remember this stuff.
Not only that, but, we also finished writing the storylines, 6 months ago.
What... Did either of us... No, neither of us had Elimination Chamber, did we?
I know I didn't.
I didn't. All right,
well, I guess not.
There were no plans for Elimination Chamber.
I think I was thinking about having an Elimination Chamber match, but we weren't going to have a full pay-per-view. Because I think I mentioned to you once at some point maybe doing an Elimination Chamber match for Armageddon, I think. But...
All right, we'll make an exception for this one. This is a 2K19 question. If Tyler drafts Adam and the Undisputed Era, are you going to push them like they are in NXT? As long as I have the Undisputed Era, which I think there's a good chance I may have the Undisputed Era, I will tell you right now, they are in safe hands. Do not worry.
It's like the first match on SmackDown. They just get buried by the Colognes or something.
They lose to the Colognes. They lose to Mojo Rawley and Kurt Hawkins.
You just put them in a handicap match. It's like I don't even know. It's like a
Rey
3
Mysterio.
versus you put them against the entire SmackDown roster somehow.
He better. Nate, don't worry. They're in safe hands. They will be in safe hands. Will be. That's what I meant to say.
It's a little cocky there, Tyler.
Is it?
A little bit.
Can you... All right, we'll make it... Here and there we'll make some suggestions, but just because I feel like doing this. Undisputed Era hand sign. Do it!
I'm not doing it right.
No, you're not. You get it. Yeah. I had to do the same thing. There you go, guys. You should screenshot this.
I would, but both my hands are right here.
We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to this in a screenshot. That's what we're gonna do.
Mine's crooked.
You got it. So like a U and E. So Undisputed Era. Boom. No, wait. Correct way. Boom.
All right, there we go.
All right.
I'm scared for the era now.
Tyler, what about Jeff?
We're talking about Jeff Hardy?
Yeah. Tyler's such a good heel. Thank you. I'm scared for the era now. Everybody shame Nate. Again. No, don't shame Nate. Don't shame Nate.
Well, if Charlie's talking about what was Jeff's storylines for 2K18, I could answer that. Okay, so the Hardys were going to debut at SummerSlam. They were going to win the titles off of the club. They were going to be tag team champions, I think, through Survivor Series.
It was definitely through Survivor Series. I know that.
Yeah. Then, I believe, I don't think it was on a pay-per-view. I think it was on an episode of Raw. Or no. They were going to lose the titles to... Oh, well, I just explained this earlier. They lost the titles to the Bar at December to Dismember. Then the Bar... Well, I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with the Hardys, so I'll just whatever. So then, after they lost the tag titles, they were going to break out on their own and go into singles competition. Jeff would go after the Hardcore title. He would win the Hardcore title at the Royal Rumble, I believe. And then the idea was, because we didn't get past the Royal Rumble, but it was gonna, like, basically Matt was gonna turn heel, and then it was gonna be Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy for the Hardcore title at WrestleMania.
What about The Undertaker? All we were going to do with The Undertaker was Daniel Bryan was going to make the comeback story for one final match. He wanted to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Taker and Bryan at Mania. As the main event, Bryan would win. Did you plan to do a SmackDown vs. Raw at Survivor Series? Yes, every match was SmackDown vs. Raw. We had the World Champ against the WWE Champion, the United States Hardcore Champion against Intercontinental, Raw Tag Team Champions, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Raw Women's, SmackDown Women's, and then 4 Raw guys against 4 SmackDown guys, 4 Raw women against 4 SmackDown guys. Women, wow. Women can fight guys, though. There's nothing wrong with that.
What were your plans for Big Boy Sweaty Strowman?
Oh, and Shield versus Bullet Club is the main event of Survivor Series.
Strowman, I actually got kind of pissed at myself because I had been meaning to build him up to put him in the title picture, and then I completely forgot to at some point. He was meant to run for the World Heavyweight Championship, I think. But I completely forgot to write him in somewhere. So pretty much for the entirety of the thing, he was just just being dominant, beating up on guys, but I don't think he ever won a title. He might have. No.
Even the Hardcore title alone, we've lost track of so much of it.
Yeah, because we did so much stuff with the 24/7 rule. I mean, he had the Hardcore title going into Money in the Bank. And I think he might have been a part of the Armageddon Hell in a Cell, so technically he would have held the title again for a week or two, but unfortunately I completely forgot to give him an actual legitimate title reign, which was my bad.
I vote for SmackDown. Cool. Alright, do Ric Flair noise. Woo! Chop. Good.
I don't want to.
You can, though. I chopped you.
But this is my bad arm.
And now?
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo! Woo! What was your plans for Samoa Joe?
Everybody's asking about my people.
Alright, what were your plans for Joe, and what were your plans for Kane?
Jeez. Alright. Samoa Joe. It's so hard to keep track of this stuff. Going into...
Sorry, Nate.
Going into SummerSlam, I think it was going to be Styles versus Samoa Joe again for the Hardcore title. Samoa Joe, I believe, was going to win the Hardcore title. And then... God, I can't keep track of it anymore. I think he was going to lose it. Well, I mean, he was going to lose it because we were going to start building towards that Armageddon Hell in a Cell I was talking about. So he's probably only going to have the title for like a week. And then after that, crap. I don't remember. I think he might have been thrown into the world title picture at some point. I do not remember. For Kane, I was going to have him feud with Braun Strowman again at some point. I think that was like closer to Mania. I actually think one of the WrestleMania matches, like lower on the card, was going to be Strowman versus Kane and with some kind of stipulation match. Nothing really that big for Kane outside of that. I think I was going to try to set Kane up in some kind of tag team, but I really don't remember.
And if you guys want to ask about SmackDown, guys, go right ahead. You know, there's Baron Corbin, there's Roderick Strong, Bobby Roode, Curtis Axel, Randy Orton, The Shield. If you guys want to ask about SmackDown, you can.
Gotta go for now. I'll drop back in later if you're still streaming. I left a like. All right, thank you so much, Nate. Thanks for hanging out with us.
What were plans for Slater and Rhino?
I'm not gonna lie. I had them botching out pretty much the entire series, unfortunately. That's a question you could answer.
Yes, thank you. What did you have for Johnny Wrestling? All right, so for Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, DIY was a tag team for a good majority of it. They together weren't going to do much, but near Survivor Series, the Ascension was going to... It was an episode of SmackDown. I think DIY beat the Ascension. Then after the match, the Ascension attacked DIY to the point that they injured Tommaso Ciampa, and that was my way of writing him out of the storylines because it's a longer story, but I'll try to sum this up. DIY, I was going to have win the tag team championships at WrestleMania. When I finished my storylines, I looked back and I realized I did not do anything major with the New Day. So I changed it so that the New Day won the titles at WrestleMania. And then with DIY, I'm like, all right, what can I do with them now? So I decided I'm a huge Johnny Gargano fan. So I'm like, I really want to push him. So, and it's not that I hate... I'm a big fan, but at the same time, I hate Tommaso Ciampa. He's that good, basically. But I wrote him out by getting attacked, getting injured. The next week, Johnny Gargano was going to beat one of the members of the Ascension. Then afterwards, as retribution for Tommaso, he was going to actually get like a weapon and just beat the hell out of the Ascension. To which Randy Orton, who was the SmackDown men's team captain for Survivor Series, would be impressed with that. He would get Johnny Gargano as the fourth member for the SmackDown four-man team. So he was going to have a little feud with Chris Jericho, which Johnny would win. Then at No Way Out, which was the... Actually, No Way Out, which was February SmackDown pay-per-view. He was going to challenge Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship. He was going to win by disqualification or countout, whichever one it was. And then at WrestleMania, he was going to beat Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship. See, that I can easily remember because it's Johnny freaking Wrestling.
Charlie asked, what were plans for Tommaso Ciampa?
Well,
outside of that. Well, that was pretty good explanation.
As soon as I wrote Tommaso out of it, that was it for him.
All right. Who's going to beat Roderick Strong for the Intercontinental Championship?
At Battleground, Curtis Axel was going to beat Roderick Strong for the Intercontinental Championship. But as like a big surprise for all of you, if you remember, Curtis Axel took Randy Orton out. He injured him with the punt kick. 2 days later, on the next SmackDown, Roderick Strong was going to invoke his rematch claw, and then Randy Orton was going to return and cost Curtis Axel, so Roderick Strong was going to immediately win the Intercontinental Championship back. There would be a triple threat between the three of them at SummerSlam, and then... what was my next pay-per-view for September? Backlash. Ty Dillinger was going to beat Roderick Strong for the Intercontinental Championship then, which was then going to set up Roderick Strong's bigger push. Which, if you guys want to ask about that, I'll tell you.
Bigfoot asks, what was your plans for Orton?
Well, I just discussed those plans that involved Orton. Then he was going to have the big culmination feud, end of the feud with Curtis Axel in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I think Axel won the first fall, Orton won the second, and then the third fall, Orton was going to return the favor, basically, and punt kick Curtis Axel, and then beat him to finally get revenge on him. He would lead the SmackDown men's team, which I think they actually won their Survivor Series match.
I think so.
Yeah, because our agreement was I'd win the men's match, you'd win the women's match.
Yeah.
Then him and Aleister Black would win the SmackDown tag team titles at the December pay-per-view, and then they would hold it until WrestleMania, where they would lose it to the New Day.
Who was the Universal Champion? Technically, we weren't using the Universal Championship. The Raw World Championship was the World Heavyweight Championship, but the plan for that was... Finn Balor was going to retain it at SummerSlam. He was going to... Let's see. If I remember correctly, he was going to lose it at Halloween Havoc to Nakamura. Nakamura was going to hold it until December to Dismember. Balor was going to win it back. Then that would lead to Finn Balor versus AJ Styles versus Finn Balor at the Royal Rumble for the World Heavyweight title. Then how I explained earlier that both Finn Balor and Finn Balor were going to be turned around looking up the ramp. Styles was going to go to roll up Finn Balor, accidentally rolling up Finn Balor, winning the title that way. And then from there, it was going to start a rivalry between Balor and Styles. Styles was going to defend the title against... I don't remember who he's going to defend against at the February pay-per-view. What the hell even was my February pay-per-view? I do not remember. We never recorded that far, but I think it was... Oh, God, I don't remember. I'm blanking on that one.
Didn't you want St. Valentine's Day Massacre?
Yes, that's what it was. St. Valentine's Day Massacre was my February pay-per-view. So Styles was going to be defending the World Heavyweight Championship against... want to say Samoa Joe, but that's probably wrong. Balor was going to cost him the match. Then it would lead to Balor versus Styles in a 3 Stages of Hell match at WrestleMania.
What about John Cena? Well, it's not like we would even know. We couldn't see him.
Cena, I didn't really have any big plans for him. I don't think he ever was in like any sort of serious championship contention outside of... He held the hardcore title for like a week leading into Money in the Bank, but that was pretty much it. Nothing really huge for Cena. I think he ended up getting into a rivalry with Neville at some point, but other than that, it's nothing super big for Cena.
Wait, when did Baron Corbin win the Intercontinental Championship? I believe it was Royal Rumble I had him win the title. It was either my December pay-per-view or the Royal Rumble. It was him, Ty Dillinger, who was the Intercontinental Champion, and Bobby Roode, I believe, in a triple threat. Which I think was actually... I think that was actually the triple threat when Corbin won the United States Championship last year. I think I unknowingly did that. So yeah, that's when Baron won the title. Were there any plans for Axel other than having the brief Intercontinental Championship reign and then finishing off his feud with Orton? After that, Axel didn't really do that much. I think he was one of my guys in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for WrestleMania. But, I mean, the biggest thing he had was his push the first few months, his feud with Orton, the brief Intercontinental title reign.
What about Big Show? Tyler, you are funny.
Big Show.
Big Show was on Raw. Again, nothing major for Big Show. No title runs or anything. I did have him set for a rivalry with Braun Strowman at some point. I think around December to Dismember, maybe. Either there or the Royal Rumble, I want to say. But other than like a rivalry with Strowman, nothing major.
Okay, what about Seth Rollins? Okay, for SummerSlam, that's when I had... if you guys remember, there was a SmackDown where there was an unofficial reunion with The Shield. SummerSlam was the official reunion of the three of them. They were going to beat Mark Henry and the Authors of Pain. Then... I don't think there was like a big feud that the three of them had against anybody other than the Bullet Club for Survivor Series. Seth, I know somewhere between SummerSlam and Survivor Series, I think it was my October pay-per-view, which was No Mercy. He won a Battle Royal to become the new #1 contender for the WWE title, which he could have invoked at any point. He had to give the heads up, though. So for a little bit, he was #1 contender. Then that's where the seeds were planted for the Shield triple threat at WrestleMania, because after Survivor Series, he invoked his #1 contendership, lost, which I will tell you guys who the WWE champion was. I think I'm actually gonna get into that, but he lost, and then Reigns was like, I was screwed out of a championship match. Why don't I get it? And the champion at the time was like, I'm a fighting champion. I'll do it. The next week, Reigns would lose. Next week, Ambrose would say the same thing, but he would lose too. Then my December pay-per-view, it was going to be the champion against all three members of the Shield in a fatal four-way. The champion would retain. Then it'd be the Royal Rumble. No Way Out was when, my February pay-per-view, was when Seth would win the WWE Championship. WrestleMania for the WWE title was the Shield triple threat, which I don't think I said this earlier, but Dean Ambrose was going to win. Because with me, that was basically my huge thing with Dean Ambrose. Because the first SmackDown pay-per-view, he was screwed out of the championship. So it was like a one big full circle moment where he finally got it at WrestleMania. Was the New Day going to split up? No.
I just watched a terrible video. I love the series, but I still love watching it. The question, are you doing Universe in 2K19? Yes. Our plans for that, we're going to make a separate video for closer to when the game comes out, but yes, we're doing Universe in 2K19.
Any plans for Roode? My plan for Bobby Roode was, you guys saw he was the Money in the Bank holder, the briefcase holder. He was going to, a few weeks before SummerSlam, tell Baron Corbin, I'm cashing this in at SummerSlam. Bobby Roode was going to win the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. He would defend it the next month against Corbin and Aleister Black, which he would retain. But then the next month at No Mercy is when he dropped the championship. Which I'm still not going to say because you guys got to ask about it. After that...
Holy crap. I keep yawning.
It's okay. After that, there wasn't really that much plans I had with Rude. He was on the SmackDown team. He was in contention for the Intercontinental Championship. And I believe we were talking about having him win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The Hardys,
Jason Jordan plans. This one's short and sweet. Jordan and Gable were just going to stay as the American Alpha. I didn't have plans to break them apart or anything. They never really had title contention either. They were just kind of a team. Was pretty much it.
I remember you had Emma with Peyton and Billy as a trio. Which rivals did you plan for them? Ember Moon was the big one. The brief Mickie James thing. At Battleground, Peyton and Billy were banned from ringside. And because of that, Summer Rae beat Emma for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The following month, Peyton Royce won the SmackDown Women's Championship from Summer, ironically, from Summer at SummerSlam. Then, what was it? The big thing I had planned, at least with that, was Ember Moon was trying so hard to get that championship after being screwed out of it how many times? It was one pay-per-view. They kept trying to protect Peyton, but they couldn't. The one pay-per-view, it was Peyton's championship against Ember Moon's career, which Ember finally won the championship. Then there was going to be this big feud between all three of the Aussie Posse, because Emma was mad about losing the title. She thought Peyton was trying to take her spotlight, and Billy was, because they were best friends, she was helping her out. That was going to lead to a triple threat between the three of them, with Billie Kay winning. I don't think I did much with Emma after that. Some things I did with Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, but then at WrestleMania for the pre-show, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay actually turned face in my storylines, and the week or two before WrestleMania, they both wanted to be on WrestleMania. They couldn't get opponents, so one of them suggested, why don't we just face each other? This has been our dream. So on the pre-show, it was Peyton against Billie Kay, with Peyton Royce winning.
What about Roman Reigns? Asked Charlie.
I think I pretty much summed up Roman, didn't I?
Yeah. Who's going to win the Andre Battle Royal?
I think the main person we discussed was Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
Was there a plan for Chris Jericho? Jericho, I basically used as, someone I could have depended on for, a good rivalry. The main rivalry that I was going to have focused on him was with Cassius Ohno, which they were going to keep going back and forth between defeating each other. One pay-per-view, it was going to be a double count-out, so they're like, WrestleMania, we're going to figure this out once and for all. And I believe it was a last man standing match I had between them, which Cassius Ohno was going to win.
Nice.
I'll be that guy again. Tyler looks like if Austin Aries fused with Johnny Gargano. I will take that compliment. That is awesome.
What was your plans for Baron Corbin? I feel like you kind of summed that up for the most part.
I think I did. He held the title till SummerSlam, lost it. He was then going to feud with Aleister Black, which Aleister Black would win that rivalry. Not too much with Corbin then. He was going to win the Intercontinental Championship, I believe, at the Royal Rumble. And then at WrestleMania, between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, he had a feud with Johnny Gargano, which at WrestleMania, Gargano was going to beat him for the Intercontinental Championship. Elias plans. You were definitely going to walk with Elias. I know that.
I was. The plan was, I had Elias. I was going to wait until SummerSlam to debut him. At SummerSlam, he was going to attack Neville during his match. Then we were going to do like a 2-ish month-long feud, I believe, with Neville. I believe Neville was going to come out on top in that rivalry. Outside of that, I didn't really have anything big for him. I didn't really have anything in title contention. I think around February I was gonna put him in a tag team with... I don't remember, actually. I think I was gonna put him in a tag team match and try to go for the tag titles. I think they were gonna be like in a number 1 contendership match for the tag titles, but I think they were gonna lose out.
Not to interrupt, but I'm just going to jump here quick. I'm just going to answer this quick. To Christian the Gamer, you said, I thought y'all canceled this universe mode. We did. This video is for all of you to ask us what the plans were from the last video till the end of it, because we aren't able to finish it. So any questions you want to ask as far as what we both had planned, ask away.
Yes. That was a good question to skip to, Tyler. But, yeah, outside of that with Elias, that was pretty much the extent of my plans for him.
Who was the mystery woman? This, you can actually go back and look, because that was shown on... It was either my last SmackDown or the one before that. I think it was one of the last 2 SmackDowns, but yeah. Nikki Cross was the one who was attacking Becky Lynch, and we did this thing where they feuded, and Nikki revealed that the reason for her attacking Becky Lynch was because she felt like it. There was no actual legit reason, but I feel like that was okay because it's Nikki Cross and, you know, she's all crazy and whatnot. But they were going to feud. Battleground, Nikki Cross was going to beat Becky. Nikki was going to form a small alliance with Alexa Bliss, to which that's where Ruby Riott was going to be introduced into my storylines, because Becky was going to get her on her side. It would lead to a tag match, which Becky and Ruby win, and then Becky would finally defeat Nikki Cross. But a few months later, the plan was Becky was the number 1 contender for the Women's Championship against Ember Moon. Nikki was going to get an upset victory on her 1 week, and her argument was, I beat the number 1 contender, I should be the number 1 contender. So then the match at the pay-per-view was changed to a triple threat. Becky was about to win, but then Nikki was going to come in, throw her out, and then take the pinfall. So then for the last few months, it was going to be Becky against Nikki one more time, and at WrestleMania, Becky was finally going to win the Women's Championship.
Nice, nice. What were the AJ Styles plans? All right, so at SummerSlam, the Bullet Club was going to officially, form and everything. Styles was going to, if I remember correctly, he was going to lose the Hardcore title to Samoa Joe that night. He was going to...
I'll plug the AC in.
All right. He was going to feud with Joe, heading into the next pay-per-view, which was Armageddon. There was going to be an Armageddon Hell in a Cell match for the Hardcore title. Styles was going to be included in that match. He was not going to win. I think I just said it earlier, but who the hell won that match? The Armageddon Hell in a Cell. Ziggler, I think. And then from there, Styles was going to be included in the Survivor Series match of the Bullet Club versus the Shield. So it was going to be Styles, Finn Balor, and Gallows taking on Rollins, Reigns, and Ambrose. Then, heading into December, the December pay-per-view, December to Dismember, Styles was, I believe, going to take on Samoa Joe again for the hardcore title. He was going to lose it, or he was going to lose the match again to Joe, and that'd be like the end of their rivalry. Then at the Royal Rumble, it was going to be Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Bo Dallas dressed up as Finn Balor, so Finn Bowler, for the World Heavyweight Championship. The end of the match was going to be, we were going to have Gallows come out to try to distract Finn Bowler, but the way we were going to set it up was Finn Balor and Finn Bowler were both going to be facing away from Styles. Styles was going to go to roll one of them up and win the match. Thinking he was rolling up Finn Bowler, he actually rolled up Finn Balor, and then that would start a rivalry between Styles and Balor heading into WrestleMania. And at WrestleMania, it would be AJ Styles versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship in a 3 Stages of Hell match.
How about Kevin Owens?
Kevin Owens, I believe he was going to be involved in the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match. He wasn't going to win, obviously, but he was going to be involved in that. He was going to chase after the hardcore title again against Ziggler. He was going to, if I remember correctly, Ziggler was hardcore champion going into Survivor Series. But Kevin Owens was going to then, after his rivalry with Ziggler, be in a rivalry with, I think he was going to pick back up on his rivalry with The Miz. And then, where am I? I think he was going to be in the Royal Rumble match. Obviously, he wasn't going to win. And then I had him in a rivalry with, was it maybe Neville heading into WrestleMania? I don't remember exactly, but it's so hard for me to remember like what storylines we wrote for some things, because we finished writing the storylines like 6 months ago, probably even longer ago than that. And we just, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had just recorded, like, literally, like, 5-6 pay-per-views worth of storylines all within, like, a week. So, a lot of this stuff is kind of jumbled in my brain right now, but...
What about TLC? I don't think either of us had TLC.
Neither of us had TLC as a pay-per-view. I had a couple of, I think 2 or 3 TLC matches planned between now and Mania, but neither of us had the pay-per-view.
Sami Zayn plans. This is going to show how hard it is to make, plans for everybody that we want to. It definitely opened my eyes with how hard of a job that WWE Creative actually does have if they're going to try to, fit so many people in. But Sami Zayn, I did not have plans for him until like the last few months, like the last 3 months of the storylines. I know I kept hinting at this, so I might as well just say it. When Bobby Roode won the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, retained at the next one against Corbin and Aleister Black, at my October pay-per-view, No Mercy, Roderick Strong was announced as the new #1 contender because Backlash, he dropped the Intercontinental title to Ty Dillinger, but the SmackDown general manager decided we need a new #1 contender. Roderick Strong was an amazing Intercontinental champion. He proved himself to be the absolute workhorse of SmackDown, possibly all of WWE. He deserves this. Roderick Strong was going to beat Bobby Roode for the WWE Championship. Hold it for a few months. Royal Rumble, he was about to beat Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn actually came in and cost him the match, turning heel, and he attacked him after the match, which sidelined Strong for a few weeks, about a month or two. No, like month. At No Way Out, Ty Dillinger was going to stick up for Roderick Strong, saying, like, what were you doing? Like, we're all friends. Like, what's wrong with you? Sami Zayn's reason was, basically, he was jealous of Roderick Strong. Why is he the golden boy? Why is he the chosen one? So, it was out of jealousy. Sami Zayn would beat Ty Dillinger at No Way Out, Roderick Strong would return. Then at WrestleMania, Roderick Strong and Sami Zayn would have a match where Roderick Strong was going to win. And it sucks because I did want to do a lot more with Sami Zayn, but I just had so many others. And it wasn't just Sami. There were so many others that, you know, there were women, there were tag teams I wanted to push, but it's like, I just couldn't do it. It was just too much.
Yeah. Plans for Braun Strowman. I kind of explained them a little bit earlier, but just as like a short recap, he was going to be involved in the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match. He wasn't going to win that match. Then at some point he was going to feud with the Big Show for a little bit, and then he was going to go into WrestleMania. He was going to be feuding. He was going to reignite his feud with Kane from the beginning of the series, and they were going to have some sort of stipulation match at WrestleMania. I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do yet exactly, but yeah. So that was pretty much just the Spark Notes version of my plans for Strowman. No title runs, unfortunately, other than
a brief hardcore.
A brief second hardcore title run, yeah.
Any plans on Bayley after losing her championship?
She was going to lose the championship at SummerSlam because Paige was going to cash in. Then Sasha and Bayley were going to feud for a couple months afterwards. Then I think Bayley's storylines kind of calmed down after that. She was just involved in, you know, just normal like one-on-one matches, a couple of tag matches here and there. Then going into like around the Royal Rumble-ish, Sasha was going to attack Bayley again, reignite their feud. Then I think at that point, when Sasha attacks Bayley, Sasha is the women's champion, I think. And then, for those of you that paid attention, Paige technically had a second like rematch for the title, because the first time she lost the title, because she was the first women's champion on Raw, she lost to Bayley then at our second pay-per-view, or at the second Raw pay-per-view. She never used that rematch clause, but then she also had the Money in the Bank. So she cashed in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam. Then Paige was going to use her rematch clause for the title at WrestleMania. So it was going to be Sasha Banks defending the Women's Championship against Bayley and Paige in a triple threat match. And if I remember correctly, I think Paige was going to win that match.
Was anyone going to hold the hardcore title for a long time?
I think the longest hardcore title reign we were going to see from after the Armageddon Hell in a Cell was, I think Dolph was going to hold it like consistently for like about 2 months without like losing it to 24/7 rules or anything. But that was probably going to be the longest reign that we saw from there on out. It was going to change hands a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot. It was going to go like back and forth between some people. But the longest consistent reign from where we were at, I think, was going to be Ziggler. He was going to hold it from Armageddon through Survivor Series, and then I think he was going to lose it like the next week after Survivor Series.
Was the NWO going to make a short return? No. Oh, wait, I think he's asking in real life because of that whole video thing or whatever. When you picked your rosters in 2K18, did you have to write them down? Yeah.
Yep.
Tyler looks like a skinny Brock Lesnar. How do I look like Brock Lesnar?
I really love the whole concept of this entire series. I remember scrolling through 2K18 videos and I found the draft video, and I knew I had to watch the series. Well, thanks, Byron. I appreciate that. You've been here with us for pretty much the whole ride, so I appreciate that. I think we missed Dalton asking about Nakamura plans. I think I explained a bit of this earlier. He was going to be... Wait a second, hang on. At Halloween Havoc, he was going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. He's going to hold it through Survivor Series. Then at December to Dismember, Balor was going to win the title back. Nakamura, after that, I think, would turn his attention to the hardcore champion at the time, who I think was Samoa Joe, I want to say.
See, guys, we had to cram this so much that we were just talking about this 5 minutes ago, and yet we still can't remember.
Especially when it gets to like the Royal Rumble and that stuff, because I mean, we didn't even film that yet, and like I said, we finished those storylines so long ago that it's like I do not remember.
What were your plans for The Miz?
My plans for The Miz. I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I never actually gave him any real like title contention, which I meant to, but as you were saying earlier, like it's really hard to like fit people in and also still like progress the main big storylines that you've been wanting to do. You know what I mean? So I kind of missed opportunities on giving them as a title, which I regret. But he was just going to have kind of like some odds and ends rivalries. I know he was going to reignite his rivalry with Kevin Owens at some point. I think that might have been closer to WrestleMania. But other than that, he was just kind of you know going to do Miz stuff. I mean, it's kind of a cop-out answer, I understand, but I didn't really have anything big for him.
Who was going to win the Royal Rumble? Sorry, I was a little late. That's fine, you were late. Dean Ambrose was going to win the Royal Rumble. We don't know about the NWO. Tyler would be the guy to get mad if favorite team or wrestler lost. Depends on who they lose to.
Alright,
Don't judge me.
I'm gonna get up. I'll be right back. We can let some questions queue up. Tyler's still gonna be here, but
I'm still here.
just gonna move the mic back out. I'll be back in just a minute, guys.
Alright, so what do we got here? What do we got? Were you ever going to use Daniel Bryan? Yes, we were going to do a storyline where he announced that he was medically cleared to return for one more match. He wanted it to be against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. The Undertaker was going to accept it, and at WrestleMania, the main event was going to be Daniel Bryan against The Undertaker. Daniel Bryan was going to win that. Was y'all going to do a Women's Royal Rumble match? We did not plan a Women's Royal Rumble match. You guys are awesome. I will be watching your... I think I'm being a little too loud. I'm sorry. You guys are awesome. I will be watching your 2K19 universe. Thank you. Thank you. Do you watch any other sport? I don't think he does. Maybe basketball. I like UFC. Other than that, no. Who else did Bo Dallas dress up as? I mean, you'll have to wait for Josh to come back to answer that. I know Finn Balor was going to be one. Who's your favorite WWE superstar? Randy Orton. But guys, just remember, this video is going to be questions regarding what our plans were for 2K18. So just please try to focus on those questions. Just waiting for more questions. Hey Tyler, do Rick? Are you asking me to woo again?
I gotta do all this
Somebody asked.
positioning with the mic again.
Somebody asked who else was Bo Dallas gonna dress up as. I told them Finn Balor was one.
I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, because there was a period for like a month and a half where he was changing his outfit every week. But obviously currently we were doing Brock Lesnar. Finn Balor was going to be around the Royal Rumble. I was going to do who the hell? I think one was going to be Randy Borton. There was going to be Kevin Bowens. There was going to be the Big Bo. I hate you. I really wanted to do Rey Mysterio, but I didn't know if it was going to work since his like official attire is not in the game, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that. You could like, you know, kind of find the parts yourself and do it, but what else? There's a couple more that I'm missing, but I was even contemplating. I think there was 1 or 2 times where I had him dress up as a woman, or at least that I wanted to. I wanted to do Bowley. There's a couple more that I'm missing. I can't remember off the top of my head.
There were no plans for CM Punk. He's already discussed what Jeff Hardy was going to do. Okay, headphone users, just be prepared.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Alright, you should be good now.
Woo!
Alright, that should be good now. Alright.
When will you be ending the series? Technically, we've already ended the 2K18 series.
Yeah, unfortunately, the last video that was uploaded in the playlist, well, technically, I think the we're canceling the thing, we're canceling the series video is the first one in the playlist when you click on it now. But I think the last episode we uploaded of it was an episode of Raw, so that's going to be the last episode, and unfortunately, that's where we have to end it.
Were you going to add more DLC superstars like Elias? He had Elias, and he already had Drew McIntyre.
And the Hardys.
I had Aleister Black and Ruby Riott.
What if Bo Dallas dressed up as Josh or Tyler? Would that be possible? Technically, it would be possible in a sense, but I would have to, like, upload a logo from a t-shirt that we wear into the game and stamp it on Bo Dallas. It would take a little bit longer than it'd be worth, but
were you going to add yourself into the universe? No. Did you have GMs in 2K18 universe? We technically did, but it was like the inside joke where how like I would bash the Raw GM, I would praise the SmackDown GM. That's because he was the Raw GM and I was the SmackDown GM.
Actually, like when we first started the series, I thought about possibly like buying a t-shirt for me that just was red that had the Raw logo on it, a blue t-shirt for you that had the SmackDown logo on it. And I was thinking about like doing a thing where we would cut to like, we'd be like, oh, you know, the Raw GM has a message for us, and it would just cut to just me standing there with a Raw t-shirt on, being like, hey guys, the Raw general manager here, you know, like this is because of what's been happening tonight, you know, Finn Balor's going to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania
and then,
for the title, but
then of course there would have been the heel commentator maybe being like, that guy was butt ugly.
We thought about doing that, but I figured the videos already took long enough to edit, and I didn't want to throw anything else in there. So, and plus, to be honest, I didn't really want to spend the money on the t-shirts either. John Cena was already talked about. Jeff Hardy was already talked about. I was afraid you would say bowling.
Did you explain why you ended the series in the video? The previous video, yes, we did.
There was a video that just got uploaded like 2 or 3 hours ago. The title is literally just "We're canceling the WWE2K18 Universe series." It explains everything there. The quick, like, 30-second version of it is essentially Tyler and I were on vacation for about a week and a half in the middle of August. We got together, we recorded, like...
endless videos, basically.
Yeah, pretty much endless videos, like 6, 7, 8 pay-per-views. We got all the way up to, like, right before the Royal Rumble. Recently, like a week ago, I went to go back and edit those videos that we recorded all in bulk.
And majority of them were corrupted for whatever reason.
Majority of them were corrupted. I don't know if it was my external hard drive failed. I have no clue. But the files were completely unusable. So, and we've pretty much determined that there's just no time for us to catch up now. I mean, neither of us have any, like, there's no more vacation time for either of us. Like, we pretty much don't have time to catch up before 2K19 comes out. And we want to be able to start 2K19 as soon as it comes out. So,
what about Mark Henry? The most I had with Mark Henry was he'd be in the title picture for a little bit. He wasn't going to win it. There was the feud he had where he teamed with the Authors of Pain to take on the Shield at SummerSlam, but other than that, there wasn't really anything planned with Mark Henry. Yes, we're doing the mode for 2K19. Bigfoot, see you later.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, Bigfoot.
Practice and play. Okay, this is a question I've had for a while. When you guys play Universe mode, do you guys just play, or do you practice and plan how the match starts and when a comeback happens and the ending? We don't practice. We just start the match. Before the match starts, we're like, all right, so this match is gonna be back and forth. All right, this one it's gonna be a quick one, squash match. But there's no practice match or anything with it. We just go with it.
Yeah, essentially, like, we would set up the matches, but right before we would actually, like, start the show, where it would, like, do the whole intro and the pyro and everything, we would quick scroll through all the matches and be like, okay, you know, this person's winning, this person's winning, this person's winning, this person's winning. Then right before each match, like, while the loading screen was going, we'd be like, okay, you know, like you were saying, you know, this one's going to be a squash match, this one's going to be back and forth. And then if we had a specific way we wanted it to end, like, oh, you know, like, you go for your finisher, I'll reverse into my finisher, or, you know, whatever, you know, I want to do a spot off the ladder to finish the match, or whatever it may be. But, so yeah, no practice, really. We're just, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And we just do usually one take through the match. And if something messes up, like a glitch, we're just like, okay, whatever. We don't want to re-record the whole 20-minute match. So we just do with whatever the game throws at us, essentially.
Were you going to recreate American Alpha? I think you already had American Alpha as a team anyway.
I had American Alpha as a tag team. Unfortunately, I wasn't really going to do anything big with them, but...
Do you have any fails with the results of the matches? There were some instances where... Well, I mean, if you guys look at that one episode of SmackDown, that was just our worst episode. Yeah, we had a lot of fails. Some matches... I know there...
Well, a lot of them were glitches, but I'm trying to think if we ever had a match where, like... Let's say, like, if it was a one-on-one match, if one person was supposed to win and then the other person won by accident. I'm not sure if something like that ever happened, but there definitely was quite a few times where, thanks to glitches or just general screwiness of the game, where the end result wasn't exactly how we wanted it to be. Like, for example, like, if we wanted to end it with, say, a coup de grace, and then the glitch happened where we couldn't get on the top ropes, that kind of stuff happened to us a lot.
There was the one I'm thinking of, and you guys can go back and look at this. It's when TM61 invoked their rematch clause for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against High Energy. If you guys watch at the end when High Energy win, like, I'm just like, I have a feeling that match was supposed to go longer for some reason. That's because I was mad because when Rich Swann did the Phoenix Splash, that's how they won the titles at the pay-per-view. But for SmackDown, I wanted whoever, I think it was Shane Thorne, to kick out of it. So it'd be like, okay, maybe they're going to win the tag team titles back. And he was pushing the button. No, I was pushing the button to let, the kick out happen. It wasn't working. Like, I'm still hitting it.
Backlash happened to us a couple different times, yeah.
So that match was supposed to go longer, but didn't. Shane McMahon going to make return. I didn't have it planned.
No, we never really talked about it.
Have to go. Can't wait for you. Cameron, thank you.
Cameron, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for coming in and asking some questions.
Who's got more questions, huh? Let me rephrase that. Who's got more 2K18 storyline questions?
Yes, that is particularly what we are focusing on for this stream. Maybe at a different time on a different stream we could answer the other questions, but we're specifically focused on 2K18 Universe, our Universe series questions. Whether it be storylines, whether it be any type of behind-the-scenes stuff on what it's like to record and whatnot. All that good stuff.
Any on Hawkins, any match Kurt Hawkins was in, he was just going to lose. The only big thing I had with Kurt Hawkins was right before Battleground, which was going to be the next SmackDown pay-per-view. He was going to come out on SmackDown and be like, you know what, I'm tired of sitting back there. I'm tired of losing. I'm challenging anybody to a match at Battleground. Step up if you want. And at Battleground, that's where I was going to debut Aleister Black, and Aleister Black was just going to squash him. But no, Kurt Hawkins was just going to basically be my jobber.
If you guys have any more questions, we'd be glad to answer them.
I'm having fun with this. I'm having fun with it. You should be having fun. You better be having fun.
I am?
You better be. See, I'm a method actor. I'm still doing the heel commentator.
My face commentary is just essentially me being me, except the only difference is I make that weird, stupid noise that everybody hates when big moves happen. Or, well, it's meant to be big moves, but it really just ends up being every move. Oh!
Yeah.
Were you guys ever going to bring James Ellsworthless? No. We weren't going to do... We contemplated it near the beginning, before we started the series, possibly bringing in any, created superstars and stuff, but we never really did anything with it.
So, how it happened in real life with Hawkins and Black at Main Event, I actually forgot about that match. Was that how it happened, though? Did Kurt Hawkins say he's challenging anybody, and that's when Aleister Black did the match? Was that how it happened? Were you going to bring back Stone Cold? No.
We weren't going to do any Legends.
The most we would have done with Legends was, Batista or Rob Van Dam, doing a surprise entrant for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. The most we were going to do with... That's a good point. The most we were going to do with Legends was surprise entrances.
I'm not sure, but the match did happen. I remember now the match happening, but yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah. Was Tyler supposed to be a heel... Okay, so... Was I supposed to be the heel commentator? Yes, I was the heel commentator, but... I don't think we ever said this is what we're definitely going to do, but this is something... I know we joked about, we talked about it,
yeah.
But... throughout the whole year, I was being the annoying heel. He was trying to be the good, face commentator, sticking up for the good guys and whatnot. At WrestleMania, it was going to be revealed that even though he's the face commentator and I'm the heel commentator, the big reveal was outside of it, he was like this big piece of shit human being that like abused his wife or something like that. He like kicked cats or something. And then there was me, who was like always doing like charity events, always doing these donations and whatnot, you know, feeding the homeless and whatnot. But it was going to be a thing where we didn't realize we were on camera until we looked over. So, like, the big revelation was I was the good guy all along and he was the bad guy.
Yeah. And that kind of reminds me, like, throughout the entire series, all of, like, the stuff, all the funny stuff that you guys didn't see between matches and stuff, I was saving that up, and I was going to put out, like, this big, like, blooper reel and, like, outtakes thing at the end of the year. And I think there's probably about 10 clips in there before we, like, until we got to this point. But I was actually looking to try to find that, and that got corrupted too. So,
well, at least you guys at least have this to know about it.
But it sucked because there was some really funny stuff in there. Like when I flubbed the flubbed the one your pay-per-view song or whatever.
Yes.
For Bad Blood.
Because for Bad Blood, the theme song for that was
Bleed For Me by Saliva.
Because I was about to mess it up too, but Bleed For Me by Saliva, when we're doing the whole, we want to thank Saliva for their song, he said Let It Bleed was the song. I'm just like, it's Bleed For Me. And he just looked at me because he was trying to stay in character, but then we just busted out laughing.
And then come to find out it's like a Rolling Stones song that I somehow got confused or whatever. And so there was like an outtake of us laughing at each other about that. Or there was one of
when you pulled the hat down. It was the first time you pulled the hat down. So we get into the match, looks over, he tries doing it, but because it was like right against me when he was doing it, it was like pulling my eyelids up. And I'm just, it wasn't like I was like that. I'm just like just staring at him. And I guess because of how it looked, he started busting out laughing. So then I started laughing.
There was a couple of other really funny ones in there. I can't remember exactly what they were off the top of my head. I know there was one where I think it was when we were doing, I think it was a Braun Strowman and Kane match. And it was like Falls Count Anywhere, and we went to go backstage or something like that. And I remember, for whatever reason, we like had to restart the match or something like that. So we started back in the ring, and then obviously off camera we had to run to the back or whatever. And I remember, like, you started on the left side of the ring, so you were closer to the ramp or whatever. And you rolled out of the ring and went to go run up the ramp. And you're like, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you. And I'm like, no! And I ran up behind you and I clotheslined you or something like that. And then you were, like, crawling towards the thing to try to go backstage first or whatever. That was funny. Crap, there's a couple of other ones that I can't remember.
I feel like you should just say screw it and put whatever bloopers you have up.
I don't know how many I think the only ones I might still have are just the... I might only just have the thing with the hat that you were talking about. Which, I mean, still is funny, but it would only be like a 20-second video, unfortunately.
What about the Usos? I didn't have anything big planned for the Usos. I think they challenged the Ascension for the tag team titles at one of the pay-per-views, but they didn't win it. Other than that, I didn't have anything planned for them.
Did you guys ever think of a joke episode for the series? We never really talked about like doing a full joke episode, but it is an interesting idea.
So after that WrestleMania reveal thing, was that going to be a Josh heel turn and a Tyler face turn? Basically, yeah. Like the last little bit of WrestleMania, he was going to be the heel commentator and I was going to be the face commentator if we went through with that.
Yeah.
So I think when we were joking about it, wasn't it going to be like, I would make like the slightest comment, but then you would just flip out and you'd be like, this is why I go home and I just beat the hell out of my wife. It's because of you. And I kick her stupid cat. Why did that bitch even get it?
Actually, I think one of the bloopers on there was like a a like fake like take reel for that, because I think we were just talking about it like in the middle of recording Raw or something like that. I think that was one of the outtakes we had actually, but it was something like that.
Now I'd love to see you act out how your double turn would go after me. Well, I think it was gonna be how, like, he'd be flipping out about it. It's like, that's what I do in my free time. What do you do? And I was just gonna be like, I mean, I donate my time to like charities and whatnot, and I do all these donations. Like, that's what a lot of my paychecks go to. But then I think one of us would have been like, what? We're live. And then I think you would see that, you'd flip out, and I think that's when everyone realized I was the good guy and you were the bad guy the entire time.
It's like, oh great, we're live. Tyler, thanks for telling me. Thanks. Now look what you did. It was gonna be something like that, yeah. But what about Triple H? We didn't really ever talk about plans for Triple H, I don't think.
Probably a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think that was going to be really our extent with Triple H, because I didn't want to just, like, pull, like, too many people, like, out of retirement, essentially, to do, like, Mania matches or anything. I thought that Daniel Bryan and Undertaker, if it was just, they were the only, like, retired people that got a match at Mania, it would mean more than, you know, if we brought Triple H out to fight somebody, or The Rock.
At least with Taker, he's, like, technically part-time.
Yeah, but still.
What else do you guys want to know? I'm having too much fun with this.
Sounds like Snowball wants to know something.
As a bad man once said, what just happened? None of us had plans with Del Rio. I mean, he wasn't even in the game to begin with, but
yeah, we weren't going to do anything with custom characters.
We talked about it, but in the end, we decided not to do it. Are you gonna double turn for 2K19 series? Well, we're not going to, obviously, for that. We're gonna stick to. I think I got a boogie. I'm sorry. I'm good. Sorry. I mean, now that you guys know, it wouldn't be as good if we did it now. So we're just gonna stick to me being the heel commentator and him being the face. No double turn, though. We're going to stick with that.
It's just like, I don't know why, but I think it'd be funny if like we say that and then like literally the first episode we do a double turn and it's just like that for the whole series.
Then on the screen it would be like hashtag Tyler lied. Any wrestler is going to turn heel. Sami Zayn was going to turn heel.
I contemplated turning John Cena heel, but I don't think storyline-wise I actually went through with it. I know Finn Balor technically turns heel after he loses the World Heavyweight Championship at the Royal Rumble. Who else?
Well, I think the only real heel turn I had for SmackDown was Sami Zayn.
I honestly think Balor might be my only one, too.
Who was going to win between him and Styles? I don't think you said.
Well, actually, before I get into that, Matt Hardy was going to turn heel on Jeff Hardy.
You mentioned that earlier.
But yeah, other than that, at Mania, Balor was going to win back the title.
Okay. He was the heel?
Yeah.
Okay. Will you stick with the same champions for 2K19? No.
Yeah, no.
Because, like we said, 2K19 is going to be a completely different thing from 2K18. So we're starting new, we're starting fresh.
Plus, I mean, like, with us doing the draft, who's to say that we would even get the same people that are our champions right now anyway? Unless if you meant championship belts, then I still think that that's a no. Stuff like that we're going to be talking about. Like the championship belts we'll be using pay-per-views. Stuff like that we're saving for a video on its own that'll come out about a week before 2K19. So be on the lookout for that.
I will say the only thing I really suggested right now at most was let's just keep the pay-per-views that we had for 2K18. Like keep whatever pay-per-views you had, whatever pay-per-views I had. Who's got more 2K18 storyline questions? Y'all the best 2K18 YouTubers ever. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate that you guys are so understanding about what really is all around a pretty crappy situation about needing to cancel this series where it is. But
I mean, at the start of it, we did say it was our trial and error year, and that's clear evidence when it comes to that very terrible episode of SmackDown we had, having to cancel the series now, all the videos getting corrupted and whatnot, but we'll make 2K19 better, we promise.
yes.
You have any plans on a well, he wasn't DLC, but I guess downloaded Ryback? No.
It's worth reiterating that we did not have plans at all for any custom superstars. We talked about it maybe like a week before the game came out. We maybe considered it, but in the end, we had no plans for anything like that. It was hard enough to work with the rosters we already had, let alone throwing more in there.
Come on, I know you guys got more questions. I know you guys want to know what happened at pay-per-views. I know you guys want to know about title changes. Was Adrian Neville. Was Neville going to be part of the World Championship picture?
World Championship, no. He was going to compete for the hardcore title at some point. Don't remember exactly when. I think it was at Halloween Havoc, I want to say. I think he was going to compete with Dolph for the hardcore title, I want to say. But he was going to lose the match, unfortunately. But other than that, not a part of the world title picture at all.
The B team, there was no way there was going to be any plans with the B team.
Because I had Bo Dallas and you had Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Snowball's asking a lot of questions. Too bad I can't understand them.
Snowball's his dog, by the way. He's borking in the background.
He is just a borker.
B team is a recent title. Well, I mean, our draft was how long before they were the B team?
Yeah.
And the Miztourage, I think.
And plus we drafted... Well, I don't know about the Miztourage, but we drafted them separately anyway.
No, that's right. They were the Miztourage, I think, by the time the game came out. I don't know.
We did make the stipulation that if we wanted to, we could separate tag teams to just draft one person. So...
I mean, it just depended on what it was, though.
Yeah.
I know the answer, but would the Bullet Club split?
Essentially, after the Royal Rumble, when Finn turned heel, essentially, you know, there'd be internal arguing between Styles and Balor, like, back and forth. And essentially, it would get to a point where, right around the February pay-per-view, where, which, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where, basically, Gallows and Anderson would be like, hey, like, you know, we've been friends for how many years, but, you know, like, you guys have this thing that you have to figure out, and we don't want to be a part of it. So, right before St. Valentine's Day Massacre, they would, you know, kind of split and go their own ways, and then the rivalry would continue between Styles and and Balor, and the club wouldn't take sides in it. They were basically just like disassociating themselves with Balor and Styles. So,
What about Bray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt, I didn't really have much for him. I kind of just used him as like not really a jobber, but like I just kind of threw him in random matches here and there. Like, I don't think he ever got like a big rivalry or anything. I don't think he was ever in any title picture, unfortunately. Didn't really have anything for him.
Will you continue the Bo Dallas attires thing in 2K19?
If I draft Bo Dallas before Tyler does, then yes, I will continue Bo Dallas's gimmick.
Bo Dallas or the B team. So I'm sure there'll be
True.
the B team in the game. Rob Van Dam, if anything, he would have been a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Plans for Becky. Okay.
I'm surprised we didn't get that question yet.
I think it was pretty much discussed earlier when they asked about Nikki Cross, but Becky, she was going to have the feud with Nikki Cross because she was the masked woman. Nikki would beat her at Battleground. SummerSlam, Alexa had the alliance with Nikki Cross. Becky Lynch was going to recruit Ruby Riott from NXT. I'm pretty sure at SummerSlam it was going to be the tag match, or maybe the following pay-per-view. But then the next pay-per-view after that, Becky was going to finally beat Nikki Cross. Becky would have a steady run, steady push. She would become the #1 contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship against Ember Moon. Nikki Cross was going to beat her on a SmackDown, make the argument that she should be #1 contender because she beat Becky, who was the #1 contender, which I think it was going to be like a roll-up or like she was going to cheat to win. Nikki Cross was going to then sneak her way into winning the SmackDown Women's Championship in the Triple Threat. And then I forget how the match was going to go at No Way Out, but it was going to lead to one final match between them at WrestleMania where Nikki Cross was going to lose the SmackDown Women's Championship to Becky Lynch. So Becky not only finally ended it with Nikki Cross, but she finally got the SmackDown Women's Championship. Were you going to do a men's evolution? Are you talking like... Do you mean like how there was Orton, Batista, Flair, and Triple H? Like his own thing or my own thing? Is that what you mean? If
yeah, that question is kind of weird because...
If you can clarify...
yeah.
If you can clarify, we'll come back to that question.
Or is he talking about like how they're having an all-women's pay-per-view called Evolution? That's called Evolution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please clarify on that question and we'll...
I hear
we'll
Evolution, I think.
Yeah.
Do you think of creating Raw and SmackDown Women's tag titles? I did not contemplate the SmackDown Women's title. Tag team title.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily... I would like to do it, but I don't think the game supports it. I don't know. I don't think you can
I think it does.
I mean, I think you can put tag titles on women, but I think that, especially in Universe, we can only have 4 titles.
Okay.
That's what I meant, because you can only have a world title, a mid-card title, a tag title, and a women's title.
Yeah. How long will this video be going out of curiosity? However long as we want it to go. Will you stick with the same brands? Yes, he is keeping Raw. I am keeping SmackDown. No, like the women's.
So I guess he means like the pay-per-view, I guess.
No, we never contemplated doing an all-men's pay-per-view. We gotta have women in there. About Nikki Cross, would you have her do promos like how she in love with making people bleed? One thing I did contemplate doing was earlier in this stream I mentioned how she was going to reveal that her reason for attacking Becky Lynch all that time was because she felt like it. No real reason. She just felt like it, which, as I said, that was fine. That was understandable when it comes to Nikki Cross because she's crazy. But I wanted to do this thing where she was backstage, the camera would be zoomed in on her, and then that's when she'd be freaking out like, "Oh, Becky, you want to know why I attacked you? Everybody wants to know. Because I felt like it." It was going to be like some kind of psychotic kind of thing. But as far as any other promo goes, not as crazy as that. What are you laughing at now?
Josh, why don't you like Kane doing promos?
Tell him the story.
All right, well, before I move on from the Nikki Cross thing, I just wanted to say that I would love to do more promos, but they are some of the most annoying things in the series to edit.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, essentially, all right, so you have to go into the like in-game like promo thing. We have to record them talking into the microphone, but since there's that big gray box on the screen that has all the stupid like terribly written promos on there,
you got to cover it.
We have to cover it with like a
Black
rectangle
bar
of my own. Then I have to type it all in, and then I have to like keep cutting and trimming all of like the camera angles of them talking into the mic together. Because there's that weird like thing where like they drop the mic and then it goes into slow-mo and black and white and everything. And then you get like the choices. So I have to keep editing all that together. Like type in whatever the next thing they're going to say is and everything. And it's just one of the most, by far the most annoying things to edit. So if we can find a better way to do it, I would love to do more promos. But we tried to cut back on them after a while because they were just so incredibly time consuming and hard to edit. So why don't I like Kane doing promos? So
gotta go back to 2015 here, or 14.
So essentially, it really just started as an inside joke with me and my buddy Junior, and we used to watch like Raw and stuff together all the time. Me, Junior, and our other friend Isaac, and it was, oh god, what pay-per-view were they going into? I don't even remember. But everybody was like, "Oh, I want to face Brock Lesnar for the." Was it still the WWE Championship at the time?
It was probably the Royal Rumble.
And everybody was like, came out. I think it might have been. There was like something where everybody came out and they're like, "Oh, this is the reason why I should be in the title match, why I should face Brock Lesnar." And I just remember Kane was out there. This was when he was corporate Kane, keep in mind too. And he's just standing there looking all serious, and he's like. He just completely was over-enunciating his words so hard, and it just made us laugh so bad. He was like, "Maybe a certain demon should put on a certain mask and fight the beast incarnate for the WWE Championship."
And it got to the point that after that, there was a bunch of, like week after week, we'd be hanging out for Raw, and their argument about when Kane would cut promos, the stocks of WWE would drop. And every week, we'd be watching, as soon as Kane got the microphone, he would be like, no, I'm going to keep up to date with this. And he was checking the stock, and Kane would talk, he would refresh it, and like no joke, it was like every week, he'd be like, look, I told you, see?
And the funny thing is, it would drop by like 0.01%, which doesn't really mean that much. And I'd be like, "See, look, this is Kane's fault. It's Kane's fault. He should never, ever, ever cut a promo again. All he ever does is drop WWE stocks. And why do they let him do this?" So, essentially, it was just started as an inside joke, and it evolved, and I just always kept saying it. So,
okay, here's a good one. There was a question about plans for the heel turn. I'll ask the opposite. Did you plan any face turns? That's a good one.
That is a good one. Any face turns?
The only one I can think of for SmackDown was Billy Kane, Peyton Royce. Don't know if there was another face turn. Because I wanted to keep them all the way that they already were.
I mean, it kind of gets like murky here, but like the club were like, or the Bullet Club were kind of gonna be heels. So I guess in technicality, the club breaking away from the Bullet Club was them turning heel, and I guess Styles was, turning face, my bad. And I guess Styles, Balor turning on Styles would then kind of by default make Styles face.
So basically, Styles was the only one throughout both shows to turn heel and face.
Yeah, in a way. But I'm trying to think anybody outside of the club, because the club was, as you guys can tell, like the big what's the word? Like that was like the big storyline that's pushing throughout the entire series.
Why didn't you guys create your own custom shows? Good question. For us, it was just more simple, just to do the pay-per-views that were already there. We did do custom arenas for pay-per-views, but it was for like Money in the Bank, which was already there, Battleground, which was already there,
SummerSlam, like especially the big four, like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, they were all already there.
But we wanted to add our own touch.
I'm not sure if you necessarily meant like custom shows as in not Raw and SmackDown.
Oh.
That came down to the fact that they're already all listed on the calendar. They already have like their arenas and everything set up. It was just way easier for us to keep them like that, because it was just way easier that way.
Did you have stories if Paige still kept the Women's Championship? Keep it PG, Tyler. I can't promise that.
So, all right. So, our most recent like thing with the Women's Championship for Raw, it was Sasha on the most recent episode of Raw, which of course, sadly, is the last episode of the series. Sasha Banks won #1 contendership for the title at SummerSlam. So at SummerSlam, it was going to be Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the Women's Championship. Sasha was going to win after, a hard-fought match. Paige was going to come out, cash in Money in the Bank, win the title. Paige was going to hold it for, I don't remember exactly how long, but she was going to hold it for a couple months, then lose it to Sasha at, I think, December to Dismember, maybe. And then going into WrestleMania, Sasha and Bayley were going to be like reigniting their feud or whatever. And Paige, if you've been paying attention, she won the championship at Judgment Day, which was the first Raw pay-per-view. Then she lost it at Unforgiven, which was the second Raw pay-per-view, and never used her rematch clause. So she was going to invoke her rematch clause essentially 10 months later at WrestleMania. So it was going to be Paige versus Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania.
Which Paige was going to win, right?
Yeah.
She better have. That's my wife.
All right. Tyler, don't make me say PG again.
Should we do it for old time's sake? Oh, me and Paige are going to do some celebrating tonight.
PG, Tyler.
Yeah, pretty good.
No! What? Parental guidance.
I'll call her mommy.
No! It's not what it means.
I don't got to stay in character now. And we did mention this before. If anybody thought my heel commentator was annoying the way it was when it comes to being all perverted and whatnot, especially with Paige, you would have hated me when she won the title back, because I was being the whole obnoxious thing where I'm like, yeah, woo! And I don't think I ever said this, but one idea I wanted to do, when I was like, woo, 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 when I was like that, he was going to get to the point that he was just going to snap, and I was going to have him just like throw a punch and just knock me out for like the next match or two.
Obviously, throw a fake punch, not a real one.
But the thing of it is, I would want it to look as legit as possible, so I would have had him legit punch me. But the reason I didn't want to do that, long story short, there's a story that he's told me where he actually did punch somebody and knock them the hell out. I didn't want to be the second person, as great as that probably would have been for all of you. But yeah, so obviously the punch never happened.
Also, I mean, it'd be hard to do it in a way that seems organic because of how this is set up. Like, if you guys can't see, like, this is my mic arm, and it stretches literally across, like, right across my stomach. And the mic sits right here, and I'm lefty, so if I was going to punch Tyler, I would literally just have to punch the mic pretty much, too.
And I would have, like, fall back, like, go right.
And it would look stupid if I had to, like, reach around like this and punch him with my right hand. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it, so. It would have been hard to make it look organic that way anyway.
The Club versus the Shield, that was our plan for the main event of Survivor Series, which the Bullet Club would have won. Was there any guys you wanted to push, like Vinny pushes Roman Reigns?
Like Vinny pushes Roman Reigns.
Yes, there were people we wanted to push, but unfortunately, we can't push everybody as much as we want to. We were restricted. It sucks. Sami Zayn, I wanted to push, but I couldn't do that until the last few months. I wanted Nia Jax to be this big dominant heel, but I had so many other plans that I don't think I really had any matches planned with Nia Jax. I think she appeared here and there, if anything. I don't know if you had any.
I mean, obviously, like, I was pushing the Club for, like, a majority of the year. I mean, quite obviously, I pushed Finn Balor a lot, and I was going to continue to do that. Shinsuke Nakamura was going to get a pretty good hardcore title run for a bit. Or world title run, I mean, for a couple of months. Ziggler was going to get a pretty good hardcore title run. Neville had been getting pushed quite a bit. I didn't really have many plans for him to, like, get a title, but Neville got a pretty significant push. That's probably the majority of them that I can think of for Raw.
Are you gonna have the same pay-per-views? Ideally, yes.
Most likely.
Will you ever do the Club versus the Shield? We can't answer that because we don't know who's gonna draft who.
Yeah, we haven't done our draft for 2K19 yet, so.
Do you plan on doing like a TNA universe? No. Considered to bring back older shows. We did that with 2K18 with like Judgment Day and Bad Blood.
I feel like pretty much every one of my pay-per-views was.
I think so, actually. Yeah.
Because Judgment Day, Unforgiven, Great American Bash, Armageddon, Halloween Havoc, December to Dismember, and St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah.
So they were all old pay-per-views.
Will Tyler ever turn face? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, granted, I've been the face all along. About newer pay-per-views.
A lot of yours were newer ones.
I mean, I know my first two were older ones.
You did.
No,
because yours
Payback
was Payback. You had Bad
Blood,
Blood though. Then
Battleground. SummerSlam was joined. Money in the Bank was joined. Backlash, they brought that back.
Yeah.
No Mercy, they brought back. Survivor Series. My December pay-per-view was Vengeance. They haven't done that for years. Royal Rumble.
And then your February was No Way Out. And then WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
So we kind of had, well, mine was all older shows. Tyler's was a pretty good mix of newer pay-per-views and older ones. Like ECW or WCW, though. We never considered, like, bringing in, like, doing those shows as in having, like, you know, the ECW superstars that were in the game, like, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of that, like, we weren't going to do separate, like, ECW shows with, you know, Tommy Dreamer and Mikey Whipwreck and all those guys. I mean, we took kind of, like, pay-per-view names from them. Like, I think
December to Dismember.
December to Dismember was an ECW one.
I think that was the only ECW one.
But he's talking about weekly shows.
Will you ever?
So yeah, we hadn't considered that, and again, like, just, I mean, it was already hard enough for us to do what we had been doing. So there was no way we would have been able to fit in extra weekly shows.
The story in 2K18, like Finn and Drew McIntyre, is that gonna go into 2K19, or are you restarting everything? We are restarting everything. 2K18 was its own thing. 2K19 will be a completely different thing. We are starting fresh.
Yep, we are starting completely over.
Were there any plans for any comebacks besides Daniel Bryan? No.
No, not really. I mean, technically The Undertaker for that match, but
I mean, he's part-time anyway, and that's usually the time he comes back anyway,
yeah.
So. What else do you guys want to know what we had planned for 2K18?
Retro, is that supposed to be costumes? I wouldn't...
Customs?
I mean, it says customs, but I think he means costumes. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to assume that he's talking about costumes. I didn't really ever do retro costumes. I did make alternate attires for some people, but nothing that's technically retro.
Overall, an amazing channel, guys. Legit, good, funny entertainment.
Thank you, man. We really appreciate it.
Will you ever do general manager versus general manager? No, but in a way, we kind of were butting heads, general manager against general manager on the commentary, because that was the inside joke.
Yeah, in an indirect way, we kind of were, and plus, like, technically you could consider a Survivor Series like a GM versus GM type of thing. Or at least the way we were going to do it.
If intergender matches were in the game, who would you have face each other? I didn't think too much into that. I think at one point I did plan a mixed tag match on an episode of SmackDown, but then I had to change everything because I found out there were no intergender tag matches.
Yeah. I never really thought about it either, to be honest with you.
I think I had, like... I think one team was, like, Roderick Strong and Becky Lynch, I think, and the other was Nikki Cross and... Curtis Axel, maybe?
Because I think at some point we were originally, like, when we first came up with the concept of Survivor Series, how we were going to do it, I think we did throw around the idea at first of an intergender tag match there, but then we found out we couldn't do it.
So I think, because wasn't it, didn't we we discussed the tag champs and the women's champ of both shows teaming against the other. I guess, do you plan any love stories? I didn't plan any love stories in 2K18.
No, me neither.
Well, I mean, unless you want to include me and Paige, you know, just saying. Because that's real, you know, that's my wife, Paige, that's my wife. Who I have been walking with, I think I'm being too loud. I've been walking with Elias since day one. Day one of NXT, I've been walking with Elias. I can proudly say that. A question for both. What was the thing that you were most looking forward to doing with the 2K18 series that you weren't able to upload?
Honestly, for me, just like, I mean, for me, it was, I wanted to be able to do the whole build-up and culmination to the Bullet Club splitting and then having that rivalry brew between Styles and Balor and having it end at WrestleMania. I feel like that just would have been an amazing moment. And another one, of course, you know, Daniel Bryan and The Undertaker would have been a really great thing that I wish we could have done.
For me, pretty much everything I had planned for WrestleMania, like with the Shield triple threat for the title, Johnny Gargano having his moment with the Intercontinental title, Becky Lynch having her moment with the women's title, New Day and Black Venom for the tag titles, which, for those who weren't here earlier, Black Venom in my storyline was Randy Orton and Aleister Black. Of course, Roderick Strong was basically the chosen one for me. He was my golden boy, my workhorse of SmackDown. I wanted so bad for, like, you know, him being the strong Intercontinental Champion and then working his way up and winning the WWE Championship. I would have loved that.
One thing that I think that we're definitely downplaying, which would have been awesome to actually get to and upload, would have been Survivor Series.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
we had 7 matches in total, and I think the main event was going to be the deciding factor who won. Yeah. So Raw would have had 4 matches won that night, and SmackDown would have had 3.
And it was pretty much all the matches that we filmed for that were awesome.
Because I know
they all went phenomenally.
The Bullet Club beat Shield. The Raw women's beat the SmackDown women. The Hardys beat Breezango. Who was your hardcore champion?
Ziggler.
Did he go over Ty Dillinger?
I don't think so. Oh, crap, I don't remember.
Because SmackDown men won. Crap, who were our women's champions? Ember Moon was mine.
Mine was...
Was it Paige?
Paige.
I think we had Ember win that, did we?
Yeah.
I think I'm miscounting here. SmackDown men's, Ember Moon. Who was... I think I could figure this out. Who was your world champion then?
Nakamura.
I think Ty Dillinger beat Ziggler, and then Nakamura beat Roderick Strong.
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's...
But,
yeah.
like, just the way that the matches played out, and it was honestly, like, one of the most perfect, like, recording sessions we had, because there was no, like, glitches or anything. Everything went to almost like a pixel perfect level, and it was phenomenal.
Like, if there's one video, and I can speak for the both of us when I say this, if there's one video that we could just go back and save from corruption and just be like, you know what, here was what the show was, it would be Survivor Series, because that was just too perfect.
Yeah. Alright, where were we?
Excited about doing
Maurice Game Warrior, I'm not 100% sure what you want to know about an Undertaker promo. If you could elaborate on that a little bit, we'd be glad to answer that. Like, are you asking, like, what would Undertaker do for his promo against Daniel Bryan? Like, I don't know. Please expand on that, and we'll try to answer your question.
What are you all excited about doing in 2K19? We're just excited doing it in general. And everything.
Not including Universe, he says.
Oh. Well, Showcase, definitely.
The Daniel Bryan Showcase is going to be a lot of fun. From the rumors that I've heard about My Career, it seems pretty interesting. I heard a rumor that apparently the My Career, you start off in the Indies and then work your way up to NXT and then work your way up to WWE, which seems interesting. I'm just excited for the game in general. I think on the night it comes out, I'm going to be streaming and possibly trying to beat that AJ Styles $1 Million Challenge thing, but we'll see.
When will you start the 2K19 series? We're going to do it right when it comes out. We're going to start with our draft.
Yeah, probably like within like a day or two of the game coming out, we'll have the draft done and uploaded.
We're just telling you guys right now, as far as 2K19 goes, we're just going to answer them quick because we want to focus on what you guys want to know about what our plans were for 2K18. 2K19, whichever drafts the Undisputed Era, are you going to put Strong in the Undisputed Era since they didn't put him in the Undisputed? We are going to discuss the Undisputed Era in the 2K19 video prior to the release. So, we are going to answer that, just not yet. You will get your answer, though. Who did you guys not want to use? Who did you guys not want to use in Universe mode?
I have a pretty easy answer to that one.
Legends.
Well, I mean that, but I mean like...
Oh, who did we just not want to draft? That we were able to draft, does he mean?
I mean, that's what I'm assuming the question is, and that's what I was going to base my answer on. Like, maybe a month after we started the series was when the allegations first came out against Enzo Amore. And I had drafted Enzo Amore as like one of the last people that I drafted.
He was the last person, I think.
And so as soon as those allegations came out, I'm just like, no, I'm not using him anymore. I was only going to use him strictly as a jobber anyway, but I was just like, no, like I'm not, just nope, just not at all.
I think you used him once for your first pay-per-view pre-show
against Braun Strowman, yeah.
And I think that was it because you didn't want to use him after the whole allegation thing. You need to clarify with the Undertaker promo. We don't know what you're trying to say. Like, did we have a promo plan with the Undertaker? Is that what you mean? Like, accepting Daniel Bryan's challenge? What plans did you have with the bar? I know you discussed this, but some people are late to the chat.
Plans with the bar, it mostly wasn't going to go it wasn't going to go anywhere crazy. The Hardys were going to have the tag titles until December to Dismember. Then at December to Dismember, the Hardys were going to lose the tag titles to the Bar. The Bar was going to go on to face Anderson and Gallows at the Royal Rumble for the tag titles. The Bar was going to lose to the Club, and then they would get a rematch at the February pay-per-view, and they would lose, and then that was kind of gonna be it for the Bar. Did you think of creating any tag teams? I mean, Tyler talked about how he was going to do, what was it, Randy Orton and Aleister Black for Black Venom?
I did them,
and you had already done High Energy.
Yeah, because during the draft, I said I wanted to have Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann as a tag team.
I thought about it a couple of times, but I couldn't come up with a team that I thought would be super cool together. I didn't technically create the Bullet Club, but
yeah. We're not going to get into this, but as far as what the allegations were against Enzo Amore, he was charged with rape. He did not tell the WWE about it.
He was allegedly charged with rape.
And he did not tell the WWE about it. And then the day after Raw 25, they fired him.
Mario and Luigi are tag champs in my universe.
I can't think of any more questions. Sorry, guys. It's okay. I'm sure you're going to think of questions, though. Just give it a little bit of time. Who is your favorite tag team in WWE2K18?
If you're talking about like our respective universes, the favorite on my universe was the Club.
For
Anderson
me,
and Gallows.
For me, it was I had fun creating Aleister Black and Randy Orton. I feel like if they teamed in real life, that would be a badass team.
I guess just jumping back to the whole Undertaker thing. I think we only have one major promo planned for him. I think
week after week, Daniel Bryan was going to challenge him. There would be nothing. Then, like a week or two before WrestleMania, we were going to have the cutscene where Taker appears and chokeslams him, and then he was going to accept the challenge. And then at WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan would win. Did you have any plans with Rhino? I know you discussed this before with Rhino and Slater.
As much as I like Slater and Rhino as, like, you know, as characters and stuff, I kind of just used them interchangeably and them as a team as just kind of as like why can't I think of it, jobbers. I kind of just use them as like interchangeable jobbers for matches and for tag matches and stuff. But
like what John Cena did with The Undertaker. Yes, basically. What was your favorite type of matches to book and play in your series? Definitely the Survivor Series stuff that we booked.
Yeah.
All those matches.
Other than that, like, some of the standout matches, the original 3 Stages of Hell that we did with Styles and Nakamura, that was awesome.
The triple threat between Dillinger, Strong, and Zayn for the vacant Intercontinental Championship.
That was a great match. The
Bullet Club and Shield.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Balor and McIntyre in the TLC match was amazing.
Just because the whole stipulation I had, the Ember Moon and Peyton Royce thing.
Yeah. I can't really think of it anymore off the top of my head.
In general, what is your favorite team? New Day.
Hardys.
I mean, it would have to be 2009 heel Orton. Could you imagine the Black Mass either into an RKO or punt kick? You know what? If he did the Black Mass and the guy, like, turned and just ate an RKO, done. That'd be awesome.
That'd be beautiful.
What do you keep saying Vince McMahon for? Oh, maybe he's asking if we were going to do something with Vince. No.
No. Vince wasn't going to play a part anywhere.
Can you please remind me what the Ember Moon and Peyton Royce stipulation? Okay, so if you guys remember at the beginning of the SmackDown side of the storylines, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce kept screwing Ember Moon out of the SmackDown Women's Championship to help Emma win it and retain. Basically, Ember Moon's storyline was, after a few months, she was going to work her way back up, become #1 contender, after Peyton Royce had won the SmackDown Women's Championship. Ember was going to lose. Controversy, I think. And Peyton and the Aussie Posse, they were going to be like, we've beaten you how many times? You're not getting this championship. You know, what else can you do? And Ember's argument was, give me one last shot, and if I don't win the championship, I'll retire for good. I will leave the WWE. I will never wrestle again. So, at the one pay-per-view, it was Peyton Royce's championship against Ember Moon's career. That's where Ember Moon was finally going to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm with you on the tag team, Josh.
Nice, nice.
Were you going to add Ronda Rousey? Absolutely not.
I mean, for 2K18, I mean, she's obviously not in the game. I'm sure there's created ones, but 2K19, I mean, like you said, you're not. I don't know if I will or not. I'm not a huge fan of Ronda Rousey, but
did you think of a retirement match? The closest one that just me that thought of was the whole title career thing with Ember Moon and Peyton Royce. But the one that I know we both agreed on, which was a comeback / retirement match, was the Daniel Bryan Undertaker match. I don't know if you had any plan for Raw or...
No, not really.
How long did Balor hold the heavyweight title, and when did he lose it? Just out of curiosity, I forgot.
Balor held the World Heavyweight title starting from Judgment Day. He won it. He won the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. Then he held it until Money in the Bank, where Drew McIntyre beat him for it in a TLC match. Then at
Great
American Bash, he won it back thanks to the help of AJ Styles.
Which all of that you guys could go back and see.
And then the plan was for him to hold the title until Halloween Havoc. He was going to lose it to Nakamura. Nakamura was going to hold it until December to Dismember. Balor would win it back. Then the whole AJ Styles debacle at Royal Rumble. Then Styles would hold the championship till WrestleMania, and then Balor would win it back. So the longest Balor's held the title was, I guess it was 2 months. Between Judgment Day and Money in the Bank.
Ronda is just an overhyped dorky. Yes, she is. Finally, someone who agrees with me that Ronda isn't that great. She's not great at all.
I understand that, like, she's a UFC fighter, but to me that just doesn't mean that, like, they should be able to come into WWE and be like, hey, here I am.
Especially when her last 2 fights in the UFC, she got her ass handed to her and got knocked out both times. And that was a damn sore loser about it. Black Mass and a curb stomp, that'd be good. Oh, Jack Swagger, I miss Jack Swagger. If Jack Swagger was in 2K18, then I probably would have drafted him immediately, and I would have definitely pushed him big time. Were you going to have the same champions if you didn't get the footage corrupted?
Everything we're telling you guys is, like, what had already happened that we had filmed up to. So, regardless of if you guys saw the videos or what we're saying now, it would have been the same. Because we've had these storylines written down for about 6 months now, so.
Possibly longer.
Yeah.
He's my favorite wrestler. Cool. I've always liked Jack Swagger. Matt Hardy. There were no plans for Sting. Oh, wait, no, you're just saying that's one of your favorites. I'm sorry.
Plans for Matt Hardy. The Hardys were going to debut at SummerSlam, win the Tag Team Championships. They were going to hold them until December to Dismember. Then Jeff was going to go after the Hardcore title at the Royal Rumble. Matt Hardy was going to cost him the match. That was going to start a rivalry between Jeff and Matt. And then Jeff and Matt were going to fight in I believe a TLC match at the WrestleMania. At the WrestleMania.
Yes or no, were you planning on having the bar break up?
No.
Okay. I just still one of my all-time favorites. Edge was awesome.
Edge was awesome. So sad that he had to end his career from a neck injury.
He went out on a great note, though.
True.
What else you guys want to know about the 2K18 storylines? What do you guys want to know?
I feel a sneeze coming on. All the greats go out to injury, I feel like. That's,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about any comebacks at the Royal Rumble?
Not necessarily comebacks, but we did have a few ideas for surprise entrants, but none of them were going to end up winning. Like, we were going to throw in a couple legends here and there for surprise entrants, but Dean Ambrose was going to win the Rumble, so. That was one thing I feel like I didn't write in enough of, was, like, injuries and, like, having people off TV. I did it at first. I know Nakamura and Apollo Crews got taken out with an injury for a while at the beginning, but
who was your favorite retired wrestler?
Does CM Punk count?
Does The Rock count? I mean, I know every once in a blue moon now he'll make an appearance, and like once in a blue moon he'll wrestle. I mean, if The Rock counts, then The Rock.
I'll say CM Punk.
The faces of Bo Dallas.
The faces of Bo Dallas are amazing.
Were there any plans with Bobby Lashley? No.
No, he wasn't in the game, and we weren't going to do custom superstars. Any shot you guys bring back King of the Ring? I think I was actually debating it, because I think when we were picking our pay-per-views, I think I told you I wanted to do a King of the Ring, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it.
I think that would have made more sense if that was dual branded.
Yeah.
I know this isn't about WWE, but just a real quick 1 out of 10. How great is this? I don't want to talk about the Spider-Man game. You can give your answer quick, but I don't want to talk about it.
I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
It's not that I hate the Spider-Man game, guys. Just, long story short, GameStop royally fucked me out of the collector's edition. So. Yep,
that one's a sore subject.
Maybe over time, once the wound heals, maybe I'll play the Spider-Man game, because he's offered to lend it to me, but I'm still a little sour about it. Thanks, GameStop. Assholes.
Fucking GameStop.
King was one of the first babies. Bring back. We still love you, Tyler. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler.
I'll start a GoFundMe.
I mean, if somebody wants to buy me the collector's edition of Spider-Man and send it my way... No, don't do that. Don't do that. Unless you want to. Don't.
Do you think of using download superstars for 2K19? We haven't really talked in depth about stuff for 2K19 just yet.
But as far as that goes, I'm contemplating it.
I'm contemplating it as well, but like I said, we haven't reached a final verdict on that yet. We're going to be making a video about a week before 2K19 comes out talking about exactly what we're going to be doing with it, so be tuned for that.
Did you think the 2018 Royal Rumble was crappy? I did. Yeah, I kind of did.
Yeah, I did. I did. I mean, my experience was I mean, not to dwell on this, but my experience for that was kind of tainted anyway because, long story short, I was hanging out with a couple of my friends, and we were waiting for, I was hanging with JP, Anthony, and them, and we were waiting for JP's girlfriend to get off work, and she wanted to watch the Royal Rumble match. So we had to pause it, and then wait. I think she didn't get out of work for like another hour. And then we went to, I think we went over to the pizza place across from JP's, or next to JP's house, whatever. And we got our food, we were waiting for it, and then we came back, and then I think there was something, whatever. So like, we basically had to watch the Royal Rumble like almost 2 hours behind. So.
And I turned it off even before the Women's Royal Rumble match started, so. Not about WWE, but I want to know who your favorite NBA team, both of you. Well, you can answer it because I fucking hate basketball, so.
I don't watch the games, but the past couple years I've been rooting for the OKC Thunder.
Hashtag Go Phoenix Suns. Have you guys ever considered live stream reacting to we did it twice?
We did it for Fastlane and we did it for WrestleMania. It was fun, but at the same time, like, I'd say almost 50% of the people actually, like, interacting in the chat were people being like, hey, like, you know, show the live stream or whatever. Like, hey, show the pay-per-view.
And we had to keep saying we can't do that.
We had to keep explaining, like, obviously I'm not going to do that. I'm not trying to get my channel terminated for copyright strikes or whatever. And they just be like, well, I don't care if your channel gets terminated. Show me the pay-per-view. That's why I'm here. And I'm like, it's just our reactions. You know, we're not showing the pay-per-view. And they'd be like, well, you guys are dumb. And they'd leave. And I'd be like, okay, cool. And so that was literally like 50% of the interaction with the chat in some of those streams. And it just got overbearing and annoying. So we decided to stop doing it.
I know this is very off topic, but do you watch football, like the non-American football, the one that Americans call soccer? If yes, which team do you support? So he's talking about like the UK football.
I do not watch.
Yes, I said football.
I don't watch football forward / soccer at all. The most experience I have with soccer is I played like 5 games of FIFA in my life, maybe.
Oh God, Byron, I said if you do the streams again, I'll deal with those people. Do you think WWE2K is going to be good? Hopefully.
Hope, yeah. That's really all we can do is hope. Because there's been so many times where, not even just with like WWE, but just with games where I'm like, oh, it's going to be good, or I think it's going to be good, and then it comes out and it's like, well, that didn't age.
I mean,
that aged poorly.
I mean, I enjoyed 2K18 way more than I enjoyed 2K17 anyway. So.
Yeah, but it still had much of its problems.
Do you watch American football? If so, what team do you support? I don't watch football.
I don't watch it, but I typically root for the Steelers. It's weird because, like, I feel like I root for teams for sports that I just don't even watch just because.
You're just there to do it.
Like, if the Steelers make it to the playoffs, I'll watch, like, I'll catch their games, but I don't ever really watch, like, regular season games of anything. Again, Josh, my favorite team. Nice.
Okay, which video game is your all-time favorite? I don't know.
All-time favorite.
I don't know what yours is.
All-time favorite. I don't know if I could pick one right off the top of my head, so I'll just throw out, like, probably a top 5. I'll go Crash Bandicoot 3, Warped. I'll go Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. I'll go oh God. Again, this is in no particular order, but, like, this one, you guys can shit on me for all you want. But it's Call of Duty Black Ops 2. That's the Call of Duty I have by far the best memories on.
Ew.
But, so Black Ops 2, then these might just be because they're very recent and they've been hyped up a lot. But for right now, just what I'm feeling right now, I'm going to go the PS4 version of God of War, and I'm going to go Spider-Man PS4.
Alright, this has just turned into a Q&A about anything. We know, alright guys, we're going to say this again. This is strictly for what you guys want to know about the 2K18 storylines. If anybody asks about 2K19, we will answer it quick. But other than that, we want to focus on what you guys want to know about the 2K18 storylines.
I mean, to be fair, at this point, we kind of did go through a pretty large majority of...
I feel like there are still questions they want to know, though.
There is still some stuff that we haven't covered, but...
Any plans? Were there any plans for the Bella Twins?
Nothing major. I mean, they were just kind of going to be, like, a nuisance to some people, but they weren't really going to do much. I think I contemplated Bree turning heel at some point, but I don't think I ever actually did anything with it.
Do you plan on doing, like, a surprise appearance, like a celebrity?
No. No.
TJP ever hit the dab on a professional level?
I don't remember.
I think I already asked this already, but what is your favorite and current Orton?
I'll go Jeff Hardy. And oddly enough, they're fighting in a Hell in a Cell match tomorrow.
Were there any plans for Seth Rollins? Shield stuff. He was going to be #1 contender at some point for the WWE title. He was going to win the WWE title at No Way Out, which was the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, SmackDown pay-per-view before WrestleMania. And at WrestleMania, he was going to defend it in a triple threat against Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, which Dean Ambrose would have won.
Again, my favorite Josh Dam. Alright, guys, any more 2K18 questions?
We know you guys got it. You guys got questions. We know that. What do you guys want to know?
So I'm thinking the stream is probably going to go maybe like 30-ish more minutes, because I'm getting pretty tired and I have work early tomorrow, so...
SmackDown will ever be the best brand ever. That is correct. Joe.
Samoa Joe didn't have huge storylines planned. Styles and Joe were set to face off at SummerSlam for the Hardcore title. Joe was going to win the match, and then, like, the next night on Raw, Joe was going to lose the title from the 24/7 rule to I don't remember who. Basically, the title for the next couple weeks was going to change hands a lot. It was going to lead to the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match, which was going to be 6 men in the Hell in a Cell. Ziggler was going to come out on top of the Hell in a Cell match. Then Samoa Joe was going to reignite his feud with Styles at some point. Don't remember which pay-per-view. I want to say December to Dismember. And then, other than that, not really much other than that for Joe.
Ever thought of turning any character into deranged psycho character similar to what they did with Gargano? I guess in a way I was going to do that with Gargano when he like flipped out and beat the crap out of the Ascension after they injured Tommaso Ciampa.
No, yeah, I didn't really have anything like that.
You guys have input into each other's brands, or do you do your own thing? We did our own thing.
I mean, it was like 99.99% our own thing, but like every now and then, like
We like gave hints to stuff.
yeah, or like for I know a couple of times like I'd be like, okay, you know, this match is gonna go like this, and then this will be the finish. Or you would be like, sometimes you'd be like, oh well, this person has a catch finisher. Do you want to do that? Like, do you want me to do that instead? And I'd be like, yeah, that works out better.
And then
So like the main storylines were all like were us individually, but sometimes the like in something small like exactly how a match ends would change a little bit depending on like each other's inputs.
And there was some instances where he'd be telling me, okay, let's do this, that, you know, hit me with a finisher, I'll kick out, and I'll be like, no, just don't do that. My argument was, we do that all the time where the finisher happens, but then the person kicks out, so I think we overdid it, so I'd be like, no, let's just finisher, then done.
Or I think there was a couple of times where, like, organically we'd be going through a match, and we had originally, like, said, like, okay, this is how we want it to end. We actually did, like, a spot that we just weren't planning to do. And then we'd just, like, whisper to each other. Like, I don't know if you guys could hear it, but sometimes we would whisper to each other during a match. And just be like, finish. Or whatever. Because I think... Sorry to dwell on the topic, but I think it was like a Chris Jericho maybe Goldust match or something like that. We did like the catch code breaker like on the fly.
Yeah. I'm like, will you guys do 205 Live? No. I don't get the 24/7 rule. Sorry if this is dumb of me, but can you? It's not dumb. Don't worry. Back in the Attitude Era, the Hardcore title was defended under 24/7 rules, which meant 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the title was always being defended. So Crash Holly, who made that rule, he would be like attacked in his hotel room or like a bar, and people would bring a referee with them and like try to pin him and, you know, win the Hardcore title.
And obviously the games don't have nearly that amount of freedom, so we basically made it so that anybody could just come out and challenge for the Hardcore title.
Raw is the better brand. Just because of superstars and storylines. Not sorry, Tyler. Everybody shame Charlie. Shame. Shame. Were there any ideas for Apollo Crews?
Not really. Hey, what's up, Josh?
Josh. Tyler has the best storylines ever. Thank you. Injury after Apollo, I don't think there was anything else. Well, I think he came back after the head injury and then beat Neville, right?
He came back and had a match with Neville. And I don't think he beat Neville. I don't remember. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the second match he beat him, but then there was no rubber match.
Yeah.
Well, isn't a... shame. I shame Charlie. Shame.
Yeah, the 24/7 rule isn't a good idea, at least to me. I mean...
I thought it was great.
Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I liked it because, to me, it was different than always having to, like, establish rivalries for a title match or having to just establish number one contendership. I liked it because it was just like anybody could come out and just be like, I'm here, Hardcore title. Like we had Cena come out and attack somebody for the Hardcore title, Nakamura, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe.
Even in real life, women were winning the Hardcore title. Like, one of the Godfather's hoes got in the ring one night, and I think it was Crash Holly she pinned to win the Hardcore title.
Not sure if I'll do the Hardcore title again for 2K19, but...
What else you guys want to know? Better because of Johnny in real life. I know you won't argue that.
Maybe I might, because on SmackDown they let Jeff Hardy get his ass beat week in and week out.
You said you bring back December to Dismember, right? What other pay-per-view planned on returning?
I think we kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but obviously up until like where we were at, I had already brought back literally all of my pay-per-views were returning pay-per-views. So my first pay-per-view was Judgment Day. Then there was Unforgiven. Then the Great American Bash. Then next it would have been SummerSlam, which was joint and already there. Then my September pay-per-view was Armageddon. My October was Halloween Havoc. Then obviously November would have been Survivor Series. December was December to Dismember. January would obviously be the Royal Rumble. Then for February I had St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And then March was WrestleMania.
The only ones that I brought back were Bad Blood, Vengeance, and No Way Out. I think those were the only ones that I brought back. Was there ever any thoughts of adding a third show because of the large rosters? No.
No, because we wouldn't have had time to record just an extra 4 shows in a month's time. Not to mention having to factor their matches into pay-per-views and everything.
Josh, Jeff, when the hell sell? No. I don't know if that information should be told.
Maybe it's neither of our rooms.
Maybe we just broke into this house.
Maybe we've been recording videos here and nobody knew.
Maybe that wall isn't even real. It's just like a big old prop.
Maybe we're not even real.
Oh shit. Oh shit. What else do you guys want to know? Anything you guys want to know about what we had planned?
Or maybe your gods.
Shame me, shame you. You can't even spell my name right.
I'll shame myself.
Too bad Hogan wasn't back already to incorporate him into the story. We probably would not have incorporated him at all, even if he was in the game. Shame Charlie. I can't tell you that. That's for me to know and for you to find out.
Oh my. Things are getting serious now.
You alright?
Yeah.
Have any plans for The Rock? Maybe he would have been a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Josh, maybe we're not real. Illuminati, don't fucking move.
Illuminati confirmed. Shame. We're not gonna shame Josh.
I'll shame myself. Why not?
No. No.
Why not?
It's illegal.
I don't think that's how
It's
that works.
illegal.
Now I'm gonna shame you because you're stealing my lines.
I thought that was Isaac's line.
It's technically like a mutual thing.
Still. No. Shame you.
Shame both of us. I don't know if I agree with that.
No, absolutely not. Any on Ciampa, his name is so similar to Ciampa from Super. I didn't have really anything planned with Ciampa. Him and Gargano were DIY in my storylines. They didn't do much. Originally, I was going to have them win the tag team titles at WrestleMania, but then I realized I didn't have anything big planned for the New Day, so I changed it so that the New Day won the tag team titles at Mania, and before Survivor Series, the Ascension basically took out Tommaso Ciampa, so then that way I could focus on a singles push for Johnny Gargano. And then once Ciampa was injured in my storylines, that was it for him.
You watch Corey X Kenshin. I have no clue what that is, so no. I would assume it's maybe other WWE YouTubers, but I've honestly never heard of them.
Hey guys, we got about 25 more minutes, and then probably end the stream. So if there's anything you guys want to know, like what we had planned for 2K18, ask away. I mean, that's not even the right Tyler, so you're not talking about me, so boom.
He's a YouTuber, not a wrestler. No, I figured they were like WWE YouTubers. Like, not YouTubers from WWE, but like people who played WWE on YouTube.
Was there going to be a new belt introduced at any point? Yes, actually. I don't know if you were going to do any Raw, but if you guys noticed, my WWE Championship, it was the center plate was the Attitude Era title, and the side plates were what the current WWE title has. How it has the side plates where you could have the round ones with whichever superstar has it. At SummerSlam, I was going to change that to the WWE Championship that The Rock debuted in 2013. And I did contemplate switching the old SmackDown Tag Team titles with the current ones. But my WWE title was definitely going to change.
I don't think I was going to do any. I don't think I was going to change mine. Special guest referee matches are not possible in 2K18, unfortunately. There's rumors that they're coming back for 2K19, but
I'm sure we both would have loved to have taken advantage of that in 2K18, but we weren't able to. A little over 20 minutes. You guys got 20 minutes to ask anything else regarding the 2K18 storylines that we had planned. Don't answer that.
Josh, how do you spell his name? I'll give you a hint. Should I give him a hint?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but I feel like you're going to do it anyway.
I'll give you a hint, alright? It starts with the letter T. And that's the only hint I'm giving you.
Would there be anti-heroes or anti-villains for any stories?
I mean,
not that I can think of for SmackDown, at least.
Like, I guess technically in a way that once Balor like kind of turns on Styles, I guess Styles would technically be considered an anti-hero because he's getting like beat up on, but technically the club or the Bullet Club was heel already. So I guess you could kind of consider Styles an anti-hero with that in a way like that, but other than that, not really.
We're just at the 20-minute mark, so 20 minutes. You guys still have to ask anything of what we had planned for our storylines in 2K18.
Oh, Snowball, you're being annoying.
And I can only ask that you guys please focus on those questions.
Ooh.
Heard that one.
Snowball heard it too.
Was there ever going to be a John Cena versus Undertaker retirement match? No. Nah, it was going to be Taker and Daniel Bryan in Bryan's one and only return match.
Ugh.
You good?
Tired.
Just got to pull through. You'll be fine.
The sad thing is I'll bet you as soon as I lay down, I'm going to be wide awake.
And then we could start up a new stream.
No. I'm going to bed after this.
Yeah, for 10 minutes.
Probably.
I'm sorry if I jinxed you. Yeah, if you guys, in the next, a little bit, want to know about title reigns or big angles or whatever, ask away. Steal Jeff Hardy in 2K19 draft.
Tyler steals Jeff Hardy in the draft, then that's going to be the only episode of 2K19. Oh, crap.
It's not even I'm going to be like, I draft Jeff Hardy. It's going to be like, I draft Jet, and then it's going to be like Sopranos. It just cuts to black, end credits. You already asked that.
Tyler, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
I'm going to kick this cap over here. Can you pick it up for me? The damn mic is always in my way.
Steal Orton. Don't do it. I don't even think he wants Orton. That's the thing.
I have Randy Orton and WWE blocked on Instagram.
Were you planning to do like a Mae Young Battle Royal or an Andre the Giant Battle Royal? Andre the Giant Battle Royal we were going to do.
Yeah, I think we were going to do that for the WrestleMania pre-show, right?
Yeah, and Bobby Roode was going to win that.
Yeah.
You didn't answer that. Well, we did, actually.
Yeah, we did.
But if you missed it, yeah, we did think it was crappy. I was thinking if you made a team who hates each other but works well in the ring, who would we have done that with?
I know I didn't do any. I was thinking of doing something with... I don't even remember who the hell it was now. I was thinking of doing something like that, yeah, but it never...
What could have been the closest one for me probably would have been Orton and Axel. Alright, you guys got a tad bit over 15 minutes. It would make a good show. Josh, take Orton. Were there any plans for Brian Kendrick?
Not really. I didn't do much with any of the cruiserweights outside of Neville.
Because he is the king of the cruiserweights.
Exactly.
Randy and Rhino rivalry turn into a tag team. Any plans of making a short return of Goldberg? No. There were not any plans for that.
Nope. Is Goldberg even in the game?
Yeah. At least I think he is. He should be.
Jeff Hardy would be your best bet.
you.
I'm just nodding yes.
He is in the... I was going to say, I could have sworn he was.
My neck hurts.
Oh. Anything else you guys want to know of what we had planned?
I'm not gonna lie, I can't think of really anything else that we haven't really touched on. At least for me. I feel like I've covered pretty much at least all the major storylines. I don't know about you, but
I just feel like there's some little stuff that could be asked that we haven't covered. You guys have just a little bit over 10 minutes. Are there any plans for Charlotte?
no.
Good. I like that.
She was in like a couple random women's matches here and there, but nothing super specific.
Did you think about custom pay-per-views? For 2K18, I don't think I did.
No, nothing brand new, like completely original.
There is one that I'm thinking of doing for 2K19, but time will tell. Plans of Nia. I barely used Nia Jax. I wanted to use her as like a monster heel. Possibly having a long reign as SmackDown Women's Champion. But like we said earlier, there's just so many people we got to make storylines with and push that there were a lot more people that I wanted to push over her. So I just couldn't do that. So she was barely used. Were there any plans for Stephanie McMahon? No.
I'm gonna get up quick again. I'll be right back. Ugh. This is honestly one of the most annoying parts about this setup is having to like push the mic all the way back in to get out and
It's okay.
all this crazy stuff.
Alright, were there any plans for Summer Rae? Yes. The last video or two for SmackDown at least, Summer Rae was starting to get wins over Emma, but it was like disqualification and count out victories. Battleground, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce were going to be banned from ringside, so they couldn't be there to help Emma. And at Battleground, Summer Rae was actually going to beat Emma for the SmackDown Women's Championship. She was not going to have a long reign, though. She was going to drop it the next month at SummerSlam to Peyton Royce. After that, Summer really didn't do much. Thoughts on Paige? She's cute. Both me and Josh love Paige, but that's my wife, though. Paige is my wife, so he can't have her. Just about 10 minutes left, guys, so any other things you want to know about what we had planned for 2K18? Now's the time to ask. Like how Balor is Josh's son, damn it. Yeah. Since when are you married to Paige? Always. I can take her, though. No, you can't. That's my wife. Were there ever any plans for Kurt Angle? No. And I'm speaking for both me and Josh. Neither of us had plans with Kurt Angle. Maybe the Royal Rumble surprise entrant. Maybe. But other than that, no. There were no plans with Kurt Angle. Like, as far as legends go, there were never any plans. A few select were maybe going to be surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble. But legends we kept out. PG. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, we are less than 10 minutes from the stream ending, so let's get the last few questions that you guys want to know of what we had planned. Have you ever met your fan before? Like you guys? I mean, if that's the case, no. What's it like to work with that dumbass Josh guy on the Universe video? He seems like a real dick. Yeah, the guy's the absolute worst. You know, it's a good thing he's not here, because, oh my god, that guy's annoying. He's a nuisance. Complete jackass, might I add. I can't stand the guy. Yeah, terrible person. It's hard getting along with that guy. Okay, now I'm starting to feel bad, even though I'm joking. Carmella is hot. You can keep Paige. I mean, you might have to fight my cousin over Carmella. Did you ever think of having male-female interactions? If Bailey talks to Balor, I like Bailey. Sue me. I'm not gonna sue you. I love Bailey. But I don't know if Josh had any plans with that. I don't think so, but I didn't have any plans with that. You are annoying too, Tyler. I'm just playing. You are the funnier one. Thank you. But, ugh. BANKS is a weird way of typing out camel face. A little over 5 minutes left, guys, so last minute questions. You gotta get them in. What do you want to know what we had planned for 2K18 storylines? Can you say Maurice X Gamer Warrior #1 is the best? Maurice X Gamer Warrior #1 is the best.
to talk some shit, huh, Baldy?
I'm not bald.
You know the reference I'm making. Now get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you see, he's been the heel the whole time.
Dumbass. Look, you messed up my blanket, too.
I think you did when you got up.
No, I didn't.
I don't know. I don't remember if I did.
So you were talking shit while I was gone, huh?
No. No, there was no proof of that.
You're a fucking liar.
Were there any plans on Camel Face? Thank you for saying Camel Face.
I mean... Let's see. It was going to be Sasha versus Bayley for the title at SummerSlam. Sasha was going to win. Paige was going to cash in the Money in the Bank. Paige was going to win, hold the title. Bayley and Sasha were going to continue to feud for a couple of months. Things were going to kind of cool down on that rivalry. Then at... I think it was... either December to December of the Royal Rumble, Sasha was going to win the title from Paige. Then Bayley and Sasha were going to reignite their rivalry, and then Paige was going to reinvoke her rematch clause at WrestleMania.
That she had for 10 months.
So it was going to be Bayley versus Sasha versus Paige for the women's title at WrestleMania, and Paige was going to win.
Which character did you want as a ladies' man in universe mode? I think ideally the best one would be Mark Henry for the whole Attitude Era sexual chocolate gimmick.
It's a pretty good one.
Okay, Charlie Smith is the best. Everybody's the best. Less than 5 minutes, guys. How did you come up with the channel name?
As much as this isn't necessarily related to the WWE stuff, essentially, back in, like, I guess around 2012, when Black Ops 2 was, like, the Call of Duty game that had just come out that year, me and a bunch of my friends, we wanted to, we wanted to start up our own, like, esports team, and we obviously, like, didn't realize that you would have to have, like, a ton of money to be able to invest into this, but we wanted to create our own esports team, and we wanted to, like, be able to go and compete at events. And so the problem was, is that my other friends that wanted to, like, make this team, they were all on Xbox, and I had a PlayStation 3. So, we came up with the name Hexed for the team, and obviously, of course, this never went anywhere. But they all changed their Xbox Live gamer tags to, Hexed whatever. And then I was still... I had literally... of course, on PlayStation, you can't change your name. So I created an entirely new account where I had to, like, restart all my trophies and everything. And it was, like, maybe a month before we started talking about this whole Hexed thing. And I'm like... I literally just, like, redid my account, like, if I ever do it again, like, I'll do Hexed something. And they're like, okay, whatever. And so... 2 years down the line, when I decided I wanted to start doing YouTube, that new account that I had just created, I had made my name based off of my favorite band, which is Avenged Sevenfold. So my name was like A7X Sin Shadows, which is like a reference to their singer and their guitarist. And I realized that if I made a YouTube channel and started making money off of it and stuff like that, that I could probably, in some weird loophole, get sued because I'm technically kind of making money off of, like, a band's name in a way. So before I decided I wanted to get into YouTube, I was like, okay, I gotta change my name on PlayStation again. So I'm like, okay, what am I gonna be? So I was like, okay. I remember texting my friend, I was like, do you guys still do, like, the whole Hexed thing? And they're like, not really, like, we kind of stopped, like, at this point, of course, we're, like, older, we realized that there was no way we were gonna be able to, be like an actual competitive Call of Duty team. They were like, yeah, you can use the name if you want. I'm like, cool. So I was just thinking of Hexed something, and then I eventually got to the point where I was either between Hexed Phenom or Hexed Phantom, and I kind of just went with Phenom. I thought it rolled off the tongue a little bit better, and that's kind of where it started. That's what I picked for my name on PlayStation, and to be universal, I wanted my name to be the same everywhere. So like on Instagram, Twitter, PlayStation, YouTube, everywhere, I wanted my name to be the exact same. So
okay, so we are just about at the end of the stream, but here, I think this is what we'll do. We're gonna do this. We will do. It has to be a question regarding what we had planned for our 2K18 storylines. We will answer one more question, and then that'll be the end of the stream. But it has to be regarding the 2K18 storylines of what was planned. So make this one count.
This doesn't count, but I just want to answer this. It says, what would you do if Kane came to your house and was going to fight you because you said that Kane is terrible with promos? I think the first thing I would think to do is I'd probably record it. I think that'd be funny.
I thought you were going to say check the stocks.
Then I would check the stocks on the stock market.
If he talks.
Then I guess I'd be like, can you choke slam me or something? Like, I'd ask him to choke slam me through my desk, because my desk is made of glass, so I think that'd be pretty fun. And then, I don't know. Other than that, I guess once it happens, and as long as I have it on video, I'd probably try to get him, like, fired as mayor, I guess. Because that's not a very, it's not a very good thing to do when you're the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee, or whatever it is. Knoxville County. Whatever it is, exactly.
Both of you had the best storylines ever. Thank you. Okay. Alright. Okay, here it is. Who is Mr. Money in the Bank and the build-up? Okay, if at some point, by the time I finish this, if we got an even better question, we'll do that. But, Mr. Money in the Bank was Bobby Roode. And, what I was going to do was, June was Money in the Bank. Bobby Roode won the Money in the Bank for the men. At Battleground leading up, Chris Jericho was going to, like, attack him before, like, a match with Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose and Jericho would fight. It was going to be a triple threat match between Ambrose, Jericho, and Roode. Bobby Roode would win the triple threat. The briefcase was not on the line, by the way. Then, a week or two after Battleground, Bobby Roode was going to come out, and we'd played up like, oh my god, is he going to cash in right now on Baron Corbin? But he was going to come out and say, I'm giving you a few weeks. I'm not going to do the coward thing. I'm going to tell you to your face, at SummerSlam, I'm cashing this Money in the Bank briefcase in. And at SummerSlam, I had the entrance set where he had like his original glorious entrance where he's on like the podium thing and he lowers down. It was just going to be this big thing. And SummerSlam was going to end with Bobby Roode winning the WWE Championship. And it was going to be glorious.
Yeah. Paige was this Money in the Bank. She was also going to cash in at SummerSlam against Sasha, who would have just won the Women's Championship. And, of course, Paige was going to walk away with the title. Were you planning on doing a beast out of his mind, a gimmick for someone? I think we kind of talked about this earlier. I didn't really have a plan for it, but I think Nikki Cross kind of fell into that for you a little bit.
And there was that, and if anything else, it's when Johnny Gargano just destroyed the Ascension. Great American Bash, you can go back and watch that. Alright, so I think that's it.
That's it, unless you guys have like just one or two final questions, and other than that, we're pretty much done here. So we'll give you guys a minute to put in one final question, but other than that,
and that minute starts right now. And if there is a question, make it count. And it has to be about the 2K18 storylines. $40. I've enjoyed doing this.
It was fun. It was fun.
Who is the Royal Rumble winner in Women's 2? There was no Women's Royal Rumble. Dean Ambrose won the Royal Rumble.
I think we considered doing the Women's Royal Rumble, but we figured it would take up way too much time on the card. And then if we did both Royal Rumble matches, the pay-per-view would have been like 3 or 4 hours long, and there was no way I wanted to edit that.
It was great. I enjoyed it and had so much fun. I will definitely watch the series. Best YouTubers ever. Keep up the good work.
Thank you guys so much for the support. And you guys are the best YouTubers ever. Thank you so much, guys. Well, that's all I have. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the support that you've showed us since we've started these WWE videos. And like we said, we apologize for biting off more than we could chew. And, you know, biting off more than we can chew and just promising something that we couldn't deliver. But we said from the very beginning, this was our trial and error year. And we're working to figure out exactly what we need to do for 2K19 to make sure that we get every single thing done without needing to cut things out or shorten things down. So thank you guys again for, you know, coming in, asking us questions, you know, being excited to learn what was going to go down, what we had planned to go down in 2K18. Again, we apologize that it had to be done this way, but it was the cards we were dealt, and 2K19 is going to be awesome. So I hope you guys are excited.
We sure as hell are.
So, guys, just one last thing before we sign off here. Remember, we are going to be doing a video talking about more in depth our plans for 2K19 closer to the release of the game, probably a week before it comes out. We'll put up a video on the channel letting you guys know, you know, everything that we're going to be doing. Until then, we're just going to be streaming whatever, uploading kind of whatever, just taking a break from the WWE content to try to get ourselves in the right headspace to, you know, just tackle 2K19 with everything we have. So, and then of course, you know, once the game comes out, hopefully within like 2 days of the game coming out, we'll have the draft video up, and that's where we'll start. So guys, thank you so much again for being with us here tonight. If you enjoyed, be sure to pack a punch that like button. Be sure to subscribe with the notification bell turned on so that you know when any of our uploads go live. And guys, have a phenomenal day. And guys, Phenom out.
Fuck the revival.
PG, Tyler.
All time's sake.
God damn it.
PG.
PG.